Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
Yeah, Kyle Draper is back in studio, and he brings with him the fruits of victory. How about that?
I never doubted my guys last night.
Never.
You know, Denver's up by 12 at the half. We only got 41 points. I said to myself, we got them right where we want them. Mm-hmm. Exactly where the comeback kids are ready. Fourth quarter Fox is going to be ready. Whew. I'm glad we got that one done, man. It's a great day to be a Kings fan right now.
Now, is that a Kyle Draper type win? 102-98? I know that's you've been talking about. You want to see the Kings win a low-scoring game?
100% a Kyle Draper kind of win, a Drapes win, if you will. And here's why, because things weren't going perfect. They weren't front runners. The threes weren't falling. You know, to win a grimy, gritty, ugly game, that says a lot about this team. My guy De'Aaron Fox stepping up. Domas outplaying the Joker. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And so this, to me, is a sign that this team can be better what their standing indicates in the Western Conference. They can beat anybody in the league. And I said it during the game yesterday, talking to Katie. It's like, I never go into a Kings game thinking, oh, man, we're overmatched. We have no shot. If we play Kings basketball, we can beat anybody. And I thought that second half was extremely impressive.
I know for a while the game was one-sided, and when games are one-sided, sometimes it's hard for the announcers to find things to talk about. Must have been the case yesterday because you talked about our show a couple of times. I know you mentioned what Jerry had said on our show about
Asia. Yes.
Jerry's going to be with us today, by the way.
Yes.
And then you were talking about our interview with Scott Hastings as well.
Yeah, and I think I botched the way I said it or something like that. I think I said we were talking about with Scott Hastings about Jokic being underrated. That's what I meant. I think I might have said overrated, but no, I try to give the show some love.
That's nice. Thank you.
You know, that's some of the perks of having your boy on TV and radio. You know, we can talk about both. So
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Hey, one thing I think we need to stop doing, I don't know if you've done it, I don't think I've done it, but some people have referred to Sabonis as Jokic light. And it's supposed to be a compliment, and I get it, but I don't think we should say that anymore. I mean, he's got more triple-doubles than Jokic. Joker is a Finals MVP, two-time MVP. I don't think it's fair to Domantas Sabonis. He is his own player. He's in some ways more powerful than Jokic. I bristle when someone says, "Oh yeah, Sabonis." He's like Jokic light.
They say it as a compliment, however, like it's meant to be a compliment. But the way he's played, especially this season, you're right. He's his own individual guy.
Yeah.
We don't call Giannis so-and-so light.
Right.
We don't call Embiid this guy light. We don't call Zion LeBron light. Why are we doing it with our guy Domantas Sabonis? So you're right about that. And I feel like he's coming to his own. You know, I mentioned it yesterday, listening to Sirius XM NBA radio, our boy Antonio Daniels. He mentioned Domantas Sabonis as being a future all-star. And I had never thought about him like that. Hall of Famer, I meant. Yes, future Hall of Famer. I had never thought about that. But if he continues on this trajectory, he's Mr. Triple-Double. He's going to be a 5 or 6-time All-Star. You know, he's going to, be up there among bigs and assists, a 20-10 guy for his career. Like, why can't he be a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, on social media, you have a lot of Nuggets fans. They don't like the two being compared at all because they say, well, at least Jokic has a ring. Yeah, he has a ring. The point is we don't need to compare those two.
Right.
That's really, we're doing a disservice to Sabonis, like you just said. I mean, maybe if you had somebody who was a bench player somewhere, you'd say he's kind of like a so-and-so.
Or a young,
light.
or a first or second year player or something like that.
Right.
Domas has been doing this for a while.
Yes.
He has earned his own standing in the NBA. You're right about that.
3-time All-Star, right?
3-time
Maybe
All-Star.
4?
Should be 4, maybe. You think so?
Well,
it's kind of late in the game, right?
Styles and Watkins were talking today about, Kawhi didn't play last night, so I mean, maybe that's all.
He should have been an all-star.
Yeah.
If Kawhi is out, he should be asked to be a replacement for Kawhi. I don't think he would accept them.
Really?
This late in the game.
Good for him.
You got family situation, the wife and kids. That's just my take on it. I don't, trust me. They might be in Mexico now or Greece right now.
Yeah.
Like, when you look, and I'll tell you, it's kind of late right now, right?
Not that he would say this, but wouldn't that be the worst ever? First guy in history, someone says, you're an all-star. I can't, my wife won't let me.
Right? She won't let me. I don't want to sleep on the couch tonight, right?
My wife says I can't do it. He wouldn't do that, but.
Yeah, but let me tell you something about last night's game, too, because this is how I know, and I'm not sure where Domas was, but they had 2 buses after the game last night. One bus was headed to the private terminal. Another bus was headed to the public terminal. So guys got out of town.
Yeah.
Like their vacations, their all-star break have already begun. There were some guys who came back to Sac. They got family here and all of that. But a lot of guys said, you know what? We're going on our vacation right now.
Sure.
And so
now you're kind of in between, right? We appreciate you came back.
Yeah.
Well, just one day with us, and then your all-star break.
And let me tell you how much I love this job in this radio station. Like, and you should give me a pat on the back for this. I really wanted to take today off. I really wanted to be like, you know what? I'm starting my vacation right now. But I was like, it's going to be a day after a Kings game. Got to get in Drape's takes. Can't miss that. Can't miss Drape's takes.
We appreciate it.
And so I said, you know what? I'm not going to take this Thursday off. I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
The boys going to show up and talk about this Kings win.
Thank you. There's must wins, and I don't know if last night was a must win, but it was a much needed win at the very least, with much underlined several times.
Yeah, 100%. And you could feel it even during the game. Like when they were down in the first half, it felt like a loss. And you could see it on social media. You could see the body language. You could see it in me and Katie's voice. It's like, all right, it's going to be one of those nights. Let's just get to the All-Star break, chalk it up, tough loss. But then it magically changed in the second half. And coming up, I'll tell you exactly where I think this game really changed for the Sacramento Kings. It injected some life into the Kings. But no, you're right. It not necessarily a must win, but a must feel good, a must psychologically. You needed this, especially coming off, 2 losses on this 3-game road trip. You lost against Phoenix, played well. They got you again. OKC, boat raced you. You needed a win on a second night of a back-to-back. And if I'm correct, Whitey, they are still undefeated on the second night of back-to-backs in 2024.
How about that?
Remember that we started this season?
Yeah.
Oh, they can't win any back-to-backs. This team is struggling. But now all they do is win, win, win on back-to-backs.
Now, as far as I know, and I've been checking, and I can't say this with certainty yet, but this might be the first time ever that the Sacramento Kings have beat the defending champs 3 times in one season.
Yeah, you might be right about it. I saw you tweeted that out.
Yeah.
And it's impressive. And I know, I don't want to poo-poo the win because it's Denver, it's out altitude, it's second night of a back-to-back. They got Joker. But they're 3-0 against the Nuggets, and the Nuggets have not been whole in any of the games.
Right.
And so, but I'm not taking away, but that's just the fact. But last night was a difficult game. It was a game where easily you could have lost. Late game in Phoenix the night before, get to the hotel at 2:45 Denver time. The Nuggets steaming. They had lost 2 straight. They lost to the Kings. They got blasted by Milwaukee, but the Kings somehow found the energy to get that win. That was more like Kings basketball, I thought, last night.
Yeah, and you're down 16, and it would have been very easy to say, you know what,
right.
Not our night. We just played the night before. And then plus Malik not shooting the ball well.
Yeah.
He's been instrumental in the 2 previous wins over the Nuggets. And yet somehow, some way, and one of the hows and ways was actually Chris Duarte off the bench.
My guy.
You do always say that.
I know Chris
No
Duarte
matter
is
what,
always my guy.
consistently, you have.
Chris Duarte, one of the nicest guys on the team. He'll sit down with me and Katie, chop it up, talk, always daps us up. I'm always going to ride for Chris Duarte. And I'll be honest with you, Whitey, I was driving into the radio station today just about an hour or so ago, and I thought about Chris Duarte. And he's sort of become this year's Harrison Barnes, where people are just crapping on him on social media. Oh, why did we get Chris Duarte? It's been a failed experiment. Even during the game last night, I saw some of you Kings fans out there saying, why is Duarte in the game? Chris Duarte is a solid, good player. It hasn't worked out so far, but we saw last night he was a game changer out there. He hit the big three. He had a couple of nice deflections, played great defense. And so Chris Duarte, my guy, we got to lay off of him, Kings fans. He's a solid player.
I think he could be one of the absolute keys to the rest of the season because the Kings didn't do anything at the deadline, right? They're probably not doing anything on the buyout market. By the way, it looks like Gallinari is choosing between the Bucks and the Clippers. So good for him. But I think if the Kings are going to get better, they're still going to need something from Sasha if and when he's healthy and Duarte, right? That was the plan all along.
Right.
Hasn't happened yet, but there's still time for it to happen. And I think the Kings really need for it to happen.
Yeah, those guys weren't brought here to be bench riders, to be 11th and 12th men. They were brought here to be a key part of what the Kings are doing, and especially Sasha. I keep going back. We all know his pedigree, EuroLeague MVP. You don't bring the EuroLeague MVP over here, put the full court press during the offseason last year, send the whole contingent of Kings brass over there to get him here if he's not going to be a part of, getting you to the playoffs, making a deep run. The injuries obviously have really hampered him. I thought before the sprained ankle, he was playing some of his best basketball of the season. And so I'm with you. 4 to 6 weeks, they say. So that's probably like 3 to 5 right now because it was last week. They need him because we talked about it yesterday in that Phoenix game. No Trey Lyles, no Sasha. You didn't have much offense off the bench other than Malik Monk. Right. They need Sasha and Chris Duarte. Chris Duarte can be one of those two-way players I talked about earlier that every team needs. He's getting after it defensively. If he could just knock down some shots, I think he'll be a part of the rotation.
This is for you, Drapes. Manny Too Legit on the chat. Drapes, favorite comment from you on the broadcast yesterday when you said Fox took Jackson's cookies for the dunk.
Yeah, my normal line is that he took his lunch money.
Yeah.
But then somebody tweeted me is like, a lot of kids are bullied in school. And I will say this to that person that tweeted at me. I know I was one of them. Dude, trust me, I remember in 4th grade, somebody took my lunch money. So that's why I say it. But yeah, he took his cookies last night, man. And that's the thing about De'Aaron Fox. And I've said it time and time again. The dude has 2 jobs. Score buckets, which he did, and play great defense, which he did. If he delivers that night in and night out, those 2 things, this Kings team is going to be hard to beat.
It's fascinating to me on social media, the whole question of whether he's been hurt or not. It's a real thing.
Yes.
There's some people saying, I guess he's not hurt. And, well, if he was hurt, that wouldn't explain why he's disengaged. It's really odd. We'll get into that today as well. But we'll have more Drapes Takes when we come right back. Drive, guys. Glad you're with us, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
37,000, 25, 1. These are the 3 numbers to remember to get the visibility and control you need to make the right business decisions instantly. 37,000. That's the number of businesses which have upgraded to NetSuite by Oracle. NetSuite is the #1 cloud financial system, streamlining accounting, financial management, inventory, HR, and more. 25. NetSuite turns 25 this year. That's 25 years of helping businesses do more with less, close their books in days, not weeks, and drive down expenses. 1. Because your business is one of a kind, so you get a customized solution for all of your KPIs in one efficient system with one source of truth. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need to grow, all in one place. Right now, download NetSuite's popular KPI checklist, designed to give you consistently excellent performance absolutely free at netsuite.com/company. That's netsuite.com/company to get your own KPI checklist. netsuite.com/company.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Well, quite a win for the Kings last night. I guess you'd have to say, or I would say, an unlikely win because when they're down 16, it looked like, just not their night. Just one of these trips here, but wow, stunning comeback.
Stunning comeback, and they were down 16, and Joker wasn't even a part of it. That's what had me nervous. It's like you got this all-world guy not playing well, not doing this thing, and you're still down 16. You're going to wake this guy up, and then when it's time to make that comeback, he's going to close the door on you, and it didn't happen last night. Joker never got going. The Kings did a fantastic job on him. Sabonis outplayed him once again last night.
Wherever he's going for the break, well, I guess he's going to the All-Star game, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be hanging in
he's
there.
already there, but no, he's going to Indianapolis.
Yes.
Ryan Williams-Art in the chat. That was a great win, but it was ugly, sluggish, and sloppy, like two turtles jousting in the mud.
Ooh, and I actually love that. We need that. I don't want it when things are perfect and they shooting 50% from three and knock it down 23 threes. To me, that's not the kind of win this team needs. Sure, we'll take it. No doubt about it. But they need to get dirty. They need to win an ugly game, get in the mud, as Ryan said. And so I thought that was a great win last night.
And it's time once again for a special edition after a win of Drapes Takes.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man. Just take it easy.
I'm going to start right there, Sacramento Kings fans. Take it easy. I've said it 3 or 4 times this season. After every loss, people want to jump off the bandwagon. Get rid of Mike Brown. De'Aaron Fox needs to be traded. He's mailing it in. HB's no good. Kevin Herter this. Chris Duarte. Kings fans, take it easy. This team has shown time and time again that they have the potential to be good. Last night's win against Denver, to me, was one of a top 5 win, I'm going to say. One of the top 5 wins of the season, and here's why. Denver, we know, is a good team. Sure, they were shorthanded, but they were coming off 2 straight losses. Mike Malone in his pregame press conference talked about how he was going to be an angry individual if they don't get the win. His all-star break is going to be miserable. He's going to go visit his daughter and watch her volleyball match if they don't get the win. So what, Michael Malone? Our boys came and got it done, and they had all the excuses, Whitey, not to win that game. I mentioned it, second night of a back-to-back, 8 o'clock game in Phoenix. You get to the Denver hotel at 2:45. Quick turnaround. Nuggets well-rested. Altitude. They had lost 2 games in a row, so they were steaming mad. But the Kings showed some intestinal fortitude yesterday getting it done.
Yeah, and one footnote. I mean, I just love the fact that despite all that jousting in the mud, 15-19 from the charity stripe. They made their free throws.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They made their free
that wasn't one of your
throws.
takes. I'm assuming it was.
All right, so I had 4 Drapes takes. I only got 3 now, thanks to Whitey.
Sorry.
I appreciate you, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. I also want to point out quickly, too, they held the Nuggets to 45 points in the second half. 21 in the third, 24 in the fourth. The Kings got it done defensively. We could talk about Fox's 30 points. We could talk about Domas and HB scoring 20 each, but they got this game done defensively. My second Drapes take has to do with De'Aaron Fox. I need this De'Aaron Fox night in and night out, Whitey. I need De'Aaron Fox. We talked about it. It don't have to be 31 shots a game, but you have to have an impact night in and night out. If you want to be called one of the game's best players, I look at what Jason Tatum's doing out there in Boston. I look at Bam Adebayo. I look at Donovan Mitchell. These are all guys drafted in the same year as De'Aaron Fox. Last night, Fox was the best player on the floor. He has that capability. He has that ability. I need to see this every night, Whitey.
Yes, I don't want to accidentally get into your kitchen and serve something before you want to serve it.
Yeah.
So I'll just say, yes, good point.
Oh, my God. You're right. You know what? I'm okay with you doing that because
Good
this is not
point.
Whitey's takes.
Right.
This is not Kevin's takes. This is Drape's take.
I'm with you, Drapes. Yeah.
So my third and final Drape's take has to do with my guy, Chris Duarte. We talked about him last segment, but really it's about Mike Brown. Mike Brown understands the pulse of this team. When he put in Chris Duarte, I saw it on social media, Kings fans. I heard you. What is Mike Brown doing? He
Really?
needs to figure out his rotations. What's going on here? Mike Brown understands what this team needs and when it needs it. We've seen so many times this year Mike Brown throw in a Keon Ellis, throw in a Davion Mitchell, decide to go Alex Leonard, JaVale McGee. Let our coach do his thing. Scott Hastings, even after the show, Whitey, I saw him down on the floor before the game, and he said, Kyle, I'm telling you, Mike Brown is the guy. Kings fans, lay off Mike Brown. He's the guy. He knows which buttons to push. And that Chris Duarte move yesterday, I thought that was a huge part of the win last night.
Speaking of coaches, this is from Rachel Strand on Twitter. Very difficult hearing Nuggets head coach Michael Malone in his postgame presser. He's lost like 50% of his voice, and the Kings are, all caps, blasting music from the visitors' locker room. Thank you, Jay.
Hey, and that's how it should be, right? You know, we got the big win. It's funny. I walked by the locker room yesterday, and you could hear them celebrating, you know, and I like that. They needed that after 2 losses in a row, OKC, and then Phoenix. You could see the weight of the season on this team's shoulders. And I talked to Mike Brown at post game after Phoenix, and I said, Mike, you feel like this team is ready for the break? You feel like they need a break? He shot back at me. Nope, we got a game left to play. So he wasn't thinking about break. Players might have been, because it's just natural. I was thinking about break. Katie was thinking about break. We were sluggish to start the game, but then the energy shifted. And I want to say one thing here, Whitey, too. This game changed when Michael Malone and Nikola Jokic got the technical fouls. Because even though the Nuggets were winning, the crowd was kind of, you know, down. It wasn't that much energy in the building. Those technicals brought the energy up in the crowd, and it brought the energy up in our Sacramento Kings as well.
Here's Jokic is like this all the time.
I tell you what, that dude should have been thrown out. It's ridiculous that guy got to stay in the game. Like, he is turning into one of the game's biggest whiners to me. I didn't see that from him coming up, before this season. But this season, when I watch him, he's always complaining, I feel like.
I did not see all the contact that he was complaining about, being honest.
Right. He was begging for fouls out there. And give the Kings credit. I thought they frustrated him. I mean, you're talking about a guy that has dominated everybody in the league.
He's an all-time
He's an all-time great. He was 6 of 17 yesterday. He was a non-factor in that game. Sure, he got some assists, 8 assists, but only 5 rebounds. He was a role player yesterday, and the Kings made him that way.
Yeah, I think officials tend to favor the aggressors, and I think Domas was the aggressor in that matchup last night.
Yeah, I like it, and I'm loving what I'm seeing from Domantas Sabonis. And so, when you look at him, and we talked before this, you could pencil him in for 19, 12, and 7. Well, he's actually outdoing that this season. And it's not just the all-star snub. I mean, I don't understand how come people don't realize just how great he is. Even on social media, people are getting on me and Katie because I think Katie said, oh, man, the Nuggets are single covering Domantas Sabonis. This is one of the top 3 or 4 centers in the entire game, and I thought he picked the Nuggets apart last night.
Yeah, he had, 7 assists last night, and the double-doubles keep piling up. Leading league in triple-doubles now.
Yeah.
A worthy all-star, but we're all better off, probably, and him included, if he doesn't end up going. It doesn't look like he will.
This is the last thing I'm going to say about the all-star situation, too, regarding Domantas Sabonis. I know he's not a household name. I know he's not the face of the NBA. But the NBA coaches to not get this guy in the all-star game, that's criminal. That is unbelievable. These are supposed to be the guys who know. And Domas is on his personal revenge tour. He is taking names and kicking butts and everything because what this guy is doing, that's what's so frustrating about it, Whitey. He's lighting these coaches up.
Right.
Opposing centers are having fits with him, but he couldn't be an all-star? No, I can't take it easy back there. I'm too fired up about this. Like, Domantas Sabonis not an all-star? He's in the MVP conversation as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, if media get it wrong, we're in the media. You'd like to think we get it right. Fans get it wrong, fans are going to fan. Coaches, come on.
What are they doing?
You should resign.
Unbelievable. Forfeit some checks or something like that, So, that's Drape's takes, man. I'm just fired up and happy our boys got it done going into the All-Star break.
All right, I got a question for you. Looking at the West here, even with the win here, the Kings are still 8th.
Yep.
They're 7 out of first. Minnesota's first, and they're just the Kings are half a game behind Dallas for the 7th spot, and the Kings are a game and a half out of the 6th spot, which is the Pelicans. So anyway, it's quite a jumble. Every game so important. The Warriors, who suffered a tough loss last night, they're playing Utah tonight. From the Kings standpoint, who do I want to win that game?
You want Utah to win.
Do I?
Yeah, 100%. Because Utah is going to fall off a cliff here after the All-Star break. The Warriors, they're going to make a run. They're going to challenge you for, that 6th spot in the Western Conference. And so I need Utah to get the win tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, let's keep it real. I want the Warriors to go 0-82. Let's be honest, right?
There is that.
There is no world where I could see myself rooting for the Warriors unless it came down to the final game of the season and you needed the Warriors to win so that the Kings can get a better seed against somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way. Other than that, go Utah Jazz. Go Utah Jazz. My guy Jordan Clarkson, I'm rooting for you tonight. I'm a Jordan Clarkson guy tonight, and so, we need Utah to win tonight.
All right. It was hard to watch what went down last night between the Warriors and the Clippers, and we'll share that with you next year. Drive Guys Roll on Sactown Sports.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com.
At the UPS Store, we know this upcoming holiday is when things can get busy for small business owners.
Exactly. My to-do list and I don't take days off.
That's why you can count on us to be open and ready to help with every small business need, whether it's packing and shipping or if it's just to check your mailbox.
That's almost everything on my to-do list. My list and I can take the day off.
Your local, the everything to help you be unstoppable store. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. The UPS Store locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the hot new Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke line of drivers, fairways, hybrids, and iron sets that are sweeter from every spot. AI Smoke is designed with thousands of real player data and a revolutionary new AI Smart Face for sweet spots across the entire face. Ask about the full line of Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke woods and irons and find your sweet spot at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Hey, it's Doug Christie here for Folsom Lake Ford. During the President's Day Sell-a-thon, get 0 down deals on approval of credit, huge discounts, and top dollar for all trades. Shop your truck headquarters at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the newly designed Callaway Chrome Tour line of golf balls offering outstanding tour performance. From cover to core, Chrome Tour is the new gold standard tour ball for players who want the best in distance and feel. Chrome Tour is engineered for outstanding performance with exceptional speed, consistent flight, incredible spin, and greenside control. Ask about the full line of Callaway Chrome Tour golf balls at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Thunder, feel the thunder. It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Hey, what year is it? We're just watching here on the Golf Channel. We're watching Tiger Woods play golf.
Yes.
At the Genesis Invitational in L.A. Tiger Woods playing golf?
Dude.
Is this like a
hardwood
classics or something?
Golf classics? No, man. Anytime the big cat is on TV playing golf, I got to tune in.
Yeah.
He got his new logo as well. You see on the top of his cap right there.
Okay.
And he's still the biggest draw in all of golf, even though he's not winning anymore. He's playing a handful of tournaments. He's still a huge draw.
Well, speaking of golf, when are you going to grace us with the details on your epic match against Mike Bibby?
I wish we had video out there. I wish
So do
we
I.
had a shot-by-shot comparison between Drapes and the great Mike Bibby. Remember, Mike Bibby did all that trash talking. He was talking trash. We got to play by his
It
rules.
sounded like you were being set up.
That's what I thought, right? His rules and everything. His home course. He said, oh, yeah, I live like 8 to 10 minutes away. Tough course. I mopped the floor with him.
Really?
Oh, I smoked him. It was, I think, but here's the problem. I only got to play 14 holes. I was up 5 with 4 to go. And because I didn't get to finish all 18, he said, well, it doesn't count, Drapes. You know, we didn't play. I said, no, Mike. Next time we play, we'll just pick it up and play the final 4 holes or something like that. But it was a beatdown.
Now, you would say you were up 5. We were doing match play or
5 strokes. 5 strokes.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't even playing my best, you know, and, you know, Mike's a solid player, but his trash talk much better than his game. Much better. He's my guy. I will play golf with Mike Bibby anytime because I'm better than him. I mean, you know, so it brings me confidence.
Well, you text him right now. What do you text you back?
I'm going to text Mike Bibby right now. And I'm going to say, Mike.
Should I text him too, Whitey, or should I not?
Text him. You text him because I'm going to text him here and I'm going to be like, Mike, I'm telling the people about our golf game. Remember, I kicked your butt the other day. And we'll see what he says. I'll be like, yeah, Drapes, you got me on this day because I was crushing that dude. You know what's so funny, though? So I left after 14. When I get to the car, he texts me, guess what? I just got a birdie. I'm like, get out of here, dude. First of all, I didn't believe it.
Put it on film.
Exactly. Show me the video proof. Second of all, I said, oh, I get it now. I must have intimidated you. And now that I'm gone, you can relax and play your game. And so I'm looking forward to getting back out there with him.
So it wasn't getting dark. You just left and he kept playing?
Dude, don't go there, Whitey.
Well, I'm asking a question.
Don't go. It's a sore spot for me. I had duties. I had to report for duty, if you will.
Uh-huh.
I had to do the darn radio show.
Yeah.
I was on the 14th hole looking at my phone like, darn it, I got to leave. And so, yes, I had to go to work that day.
Wow.
This was an off day in Phoenix for me anyway from TV because it was the Suns game. It was a TNT broadcast. I'm like, yes, I got a day. And I said, oh, shoot, I got to hang with Whitey for 3.5 hours. Darn it. So,
because he may actually have a point then. If you left the course.
I had to. I told him we needed to start at 8:30. He's like, the earliest I could do is 9:30. And I'm thinking, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
You know? But I like to say, you know, it's in like politics, you know, you have the projected outcome and everything like that. Exit polls.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well,
we're projecting the winner.
Right.
Yeah.
I was clearly projected to win. If you extrapolate the first 14 holes, I probably would have won by 8 shots, something like that.
Where did you have him and what facet of golf were you vastly superior?
So I'm not a good driver, but Mike never uses his driver. And so off the tee, I got him.
Yeah.
Short game, putting, I had him. I mean, I'm going to text him right now because
How
I
did
want
you
him
only
to-
beat him by 5?
No, because I had one bad hole. So here's the issue with my golf game. I'm actually okay the first 9 or 10 holes, but then it falls apart on like hole 12 or 13.
Runs out of gas.
I run out of gas, 100%. If every tournament was 9 holes, your boy might be on the PGA Tour right now. But I fall apart on hole 12 and 13.
Well, then given that fact, I don't see how we can declare you a winner when you didn't play the last.
No, but I parred the last hole though. So I had turned it around. And so it's funny. I had this friend golfing with us, Emily Hoffman. She's from Folsom. She's on the Epsom tour.
Okay.
And she played from the same tees as us. Was killing it, dude. Like she told me, she's like, yeah, I birdied 16, 17, and 18 coming in. So it was me and her versus Mike and his cousin. And it was, we smacked him up, man. It was a debacle out there. Yeah, we crushed him. It felt good, man.
Good.
It felt good.
Good. Yeah, you said there's some people you can't play around.
Right,
And other
right.
people so Mike's a guy that
I
want
can
to
play
get
around
out there with.
Yeah, exactly. Because the thing about Mike, and you guys know this when you golf. Well, Jay does it because he hates golf. But when you golf, it's supposed to be relaxing, fun. You don't want anybody stressing you out. And the worst kind of golfer, too, Whitey, is the guy who tries to coach you on the course when you hit a bad shot. Meanwhile, this guy's a 20 handicap himself.
right.
It's like, dude, shut up. Like, go out there and shoot your 98 and let me handle my
And
business.
who is that? Who does that to you? Who are we talking about?
I mean, Kenny Thomas can be. I hope he's not listening right now. That's my
I'm
guy.
texting my guy. I'm texting my guy.
Text it right now. Yeah, but that's the worst because you know how it is in golf, man. When you hit a bad shot, you know you hit a bad shot. You know what you're doing wrong. You don't need anybody to, that's not even much better than you to try and tell you what to do. And so
remember that if I ever play you.
Yeah, we got to get out, man. We got to do a Sactown Sports 1140 golf outing.
Why are you a golfer?
I haven't golfed in a while, but yeah.
Okay. What's a while?
It's been years, but I have a hole-in-one to my credit, a legitimate hole-in-one.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
That's why I do not have that. I do not have. You know what my problem regarding that is? Every time I get to a par 3, I think, oh, this might be the hole I get a hole-in-one. So it's already in my head. Instead of just not even thinking about it and just playing the hole, I'm already thinking, I'm going to get a hole-in-one here. And then it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen. The cool thing about it is, you can't do any better.
Right.
Whether you're you or freaking Tiger or Jack Nicklaus, that's the best you can do.
That's the best you can do on that hole.
Yeah.
I mean, a 1 on the hole. Yeah. And so, no, we had a good time, man. But I tell you what, that was the day. Remember, you were like, is Kyle here on the radio? You started the show. Is Drapes here? Dude, I was rushing because Mike Bibby had the 9:30 tee time, didn't show up till 9:45. And I'm like, bro, what are we doing? I got work, So, but I made it in time.
So did he acknowledge you beat him or
No. He said because we didn't finish, it doesn't count. And I'm like, dude, I was smacking it was getting worse. It was like, I was on a 20-0 run, and it had built a 30-point lead with 5 minutes left. And he's like, oh, well, because we didn't finish the game, who knows? I might have went on a 40-0 run or something like that. I would have finished birdie, birdie, birdie. I'm like, Mike, you got 2 10s and a 9 on your card. What are you talking about? And so, no, it was fun, though.
Well, it's good you had fun anyway.
I had a good time. I had a good time.
Yeah.
Nice course, too. Nice course.
What course? Do you know?
Desert Canyon.
Okay.
Desert Canyon. Yeah. And it was like a 40-minute drive from the hotel. And it was just.
It was a thing. Huh?
It was a thing. It was a day.
All right.
But we got it in. We got 14 in at least.
All right. You got to play them around here. Rematch.
Bring them to my home course.
Yes.
Empire Ranch in Folsom.
There you go.
I know that course like the back of my hand. And so I'm going to text
the one
him.
that has that really high part?
Yeah, on 18. That's their signature hole coming down. Yes.
Oh, that's an incredible hole.
Incredible hole. And so depending on where you play, you could play on the whites and it's just a regular, but then you go back up to the green and blues. Picturesque. You can see the lake from up there too. Yeah, it's a great.
You could
course.
probably see Lake Tahoe
from up there.
Way
You're
up
up high, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Hey, the Lakers last night, they're winning now. And Anthony Davis said, we're figuring out our identity. We figured out who we are. He said we shoot well and we get to the line and we beat you in the paint. So I don't know. They say they figured out who they are. They're establishing an identity. How close are we to that with the Kings? How close are they to establishing something as an identity?
I don't know. Because remember, through the first 52 games so far this season, the Kings have been consistently inconsistent. And so I would like to think what we saw last night can be something that, we see, but they didn't knock down the threes really.
Yeah.
I still think their identity, who they are, is a very good offensive team. Like what we saw last night, I don't think that's their blueprint. I don't think that's their recipe, for the rest of this season. I would like it to be. I would like them to have that in their tool belt, their arsenal, their war chest, if you will, the ability to get wins like that. But I still think this team needs to be better offensively. Like the threes didn't fall last night. I think at their best, they're an elite offensive team.
One trend the last few games that is promising is they have outscored teams fast break points. Last night was not a big up and down game, but they outscored Denver fast break points. I think 13-4.
Yeah.
So my point is, I still think if they could be a scrappy team where we're going to guard you, not all the time, but sometimes we're going to get after you on the perimeter. We're going to get out and run when we rebound. I still think that's what the identity of this team needs to be.
Yeah, and one thing too regarding that, Whitey, and we saw it against Phoenix as well. To get out and run, to lead, get fast break points, steals have to be a part of it. There's no reason why this Kings team should not be one of the league leaders in steals per game. Well, you have a guy like De'Aaron Fox.
They're not a great defensive team, but they still should be causing havoc on the perimeter.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it. They're 21st in the NBA in steals. I mean, they're behind teams like, the Pelicans are higher. The Wizards average more. The Wizards average more. And they don't play a lick of defense. And the Wizards average more steals than you. And so I think that's an area where the Kings can improve in. And we've seen it from De'Aaron Fox recently. His steal numbers since January 1st have been off the charts. I think he's second in the league since January 1 to SGA. And so that's an easy way to get some buckets, right? Those transition buckets you're talking about.
I do think it's hard to play that way if you don't have a lot of depth, though.
But they should have depth, though, right?
I know. And I think the potential's there, but right now I don't think you could really say they have a ton of depth.
What do you make of Mike Brown recently going with a 3-guard lineup, using Davion and Keon Ellis? Because those are guys who are, high IQ defensive guys. They can wreak havoc, can get deflections, turnovers. Do you like going, with that heavy defensive backcourt, Keon, Davion, and then sometimes you'll have Fox or Malik Monk?
Yes, because Monk and De'Aaron are pretty ball dominant, at times.
Right.
And you want to be with that lineup. Obviously, he's like, yes, that's what you're supposed to be doing.
Right. Exactly.
That's not an issue. Then it's like, yeah, you have to do that.
And I think, what you're seeing is Mike Brown, especially late in games recently, going with his best defensive backcourt. Look at Kevin Huerter's fourth quarter numbers, minutes-wise, the last few games. He's been on the bench a lot. Mike has turned to Keon Ellis. He's turned to Davion. Last night, he turned to Chris Duarte. And so I think late in games, in the fourth quarter, Mike's going with a defensive mentality lately.
I still think Keon can be a better shooter. I think in Summer League, we've seen glimpses of it. He came in last night, had a couple of offensive possessions early and missed a jump shot, missed a drive to the rim. It's like, it's just tough to keep guys on the floor when they're not giving you anything offensive.
Yeah, and to Keon's, defense, and same thing with Davion, it's hard, man, when you don't get consistent minutes, right? To come in and all of a sudden just be on point and not even consistent minutes game to game. I'm talking about, give him a 5-minute stretch to get a lather up, to get a break a sweat instead of, 2 minutes here and then pull it out. I talked to Wes Wilcox about this earlier this season regarding De'Aaron Fox. And what they do is, with De'Aaron, they give him 6 minutes on, 3 minutes off. So if you're Davion or Keon, you're backing up Fox, you got to come in and do something in that 3 minutes because then De'Aaron Fox is coming back in, and it's difficult to do.
Hey, didn't realize we got some calls backing up here. We'll get to the phones, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Also get back to what went down last night on national TV. That was hard to watch. It's next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus, view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Elevate your drive with Acura of Stockton's President's Day savings. Unleash luxury and precision in a new Acura Integra, RDX, MDX, or TLX. Quality meets affordability with savings on our best selection. Get to AcuraofStockton.com and start your experience today. On the road in style. Visit us today or go to AcuraofStockton.com. Elevate your drive with Acura of Stockton, where precision crafted performance is at your fingertips.
It was 1879 when the first President's Day was established, and it's been a holiday ever since. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. I'm guessing when the Keys family opened the first Naturewood Home Furnishing store in 1948, a President's Day sale was not top of the mind. But the family probably celebrated the holiday with a picnic and a big slice of cherry pie. The store name Naturewood was selected to reflect the quality of the wood furniture for sale. And that focus on quality continues today with brands like Flex Steel, Trailway, Stickley, Fusion Designs, Stanton, and many, many more. The Naturewood Home Furnishings President's Day sale is the perfect time for you to find the right accent piece for your living room, a new bed for your bedroom, or to completely refurnish your entire home. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's President's Day sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper here from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. You know, I'm loving my new EQS SUV. It's the most amazing car I've ever had. In fact, when I'm on the road with the Kings, I can't wait to come back just to hop in that EQS SUV. It's lovely. Now, if you've been on the fence about purchasing your first fully electric vehicle, I'll just say this. Schedule a test drive and see for yourself what makes these vehicles so incredible. Right now, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is offering up to $10,000 in incentives on new 2023 and 2024 Mercedes-Benz electric vehicles. You'll also receive a wall box home charger and 2 years of prepaid vehicle maintenance if you purchase or lease any Mercedes-Benz electric model. So head on over to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, just 30 minutes from Sacramento, right off I-5, online at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jake Owen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
Get ready for an exciting drive in the 2024 Kia Forte GT line, now at Elk Grove Kia for just $19,988. Experience efficiency with an impressive 39 mpg, smooth rides with automatic transmission, and stay on track with a lane departure warning system for only $19,988. Enjoy modern conveniences with its huge 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation and a rear camera, Bluetooth wireless technology, and the ease of push-button start for only $19,988. Or lease this incredible ride with no cash out of pocket for only $279 per month plus tax. You heard right. No money down and only $279 plus tax. Elk Grove Kia, where driving dreams come true. Visit us today in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com. Sale price $20,738. Dealer choice rebate $750. Net price $19,988. Must finance through Kia Finance 5 at this price. 24 monthly zero cash down. Residual of $63.90.50 based on 10K per year. 20 cents a mile over zero security deposit. Kia Tier 1 approval required. Expires 2/15/2024.
Elk Grove Kia.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda.
Thank you, Simone, for this update. Rob Manfred says he'll retire in 2029. Believe it when I see it, and that's too far.
Yeah, why is he 5 years?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Just retire now. Just save everybody a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Just admit you screwed up the whole A's and Vegas thing. You screwed up the Astros thing. You screwed up the labor negotiations. Just say, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm out. Have a good night.
Right off into the sunset, right?
Yeah.
You know, he gets booed everywhere he goes. Like you said, the A's thing, you know, which is criminal if you ask me. No, you're right, man. Why announce it? Yeah, in 5 years. Yeah. What do you want, a retirement tour or something like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a player
5
goes
years.
out. 5 years. Nah, man, it's okay if you leave now. We'll be all right.
It's like I saw something a couple days ago. Jennifer Lopez hints that she'll retire. It's like, how would you know?
I thought you were retired.
Being good for you, but I don't know what? Hints at retirement?
Oh, man.
We'll get to the phones here in just a moment. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. First, we have an update on the Kyle Draper, Mike Bibby Golf Challenge. So Mike Bibby has
I texted Mike.
He's conceded?
Let me go on record and say exactly what I said to Mike. I said, Mike, doing my radio show, talking about how I kicked your butt on the golf course. Laughing emoji. He responded back, laughing emoji. He said, I was on my way back. And under scorecard by your name, it said disqualified, did not finish. So 2 things to remember there. All right, it didn't finish, but he admits I was kicking his butt. He says he was on his way back. He admits he was down. And so that's what I take from that text exchange right there.
Yeah.
He admitted he was down.
Yes. But are you admitting then that the match wasn't finished?
It was a rout. It's like when you throw the bench in the game in the last 5 minutes.
Garbage time in
It
golf?
was garbage time in golf. There was no way he was going to catch up. Your boy was playing halfway decent. I had a couple bad holes, but I was playing halfway decent. So much so that Emily that we were golfing with said, Kyle, no way you're a 17 or 18 handicap.
Oh, that's nice.
And
Yeah.
when somebody says that, it's
Yeah.
like, I'm flowing that day. So that's how it was. Man.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Steven with us on Sactown Sports. What's up, Steven?
Hello. How you guys doing?
Good.
Hey, you all right there, man? You okay, Steven? You just waking up or something?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, all right, go ahead, man.
No, I'm at work, man. So I'm just trying to get keep the noise level down to a minimum. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
Kyle, I got a couple questions for you, man. I've been really curious about this, man. I know when you first got on and got your show and everything, you kind of gave us a little bit of a background and everything about, where you came from and whatnot. What year was your rookie year as far as calling games? If it's real quick.
2017. Oh, you mean
for the Kings or ever?
Was when I
No. Just in general. Like I just have a couple of quick questions for you, man. Basically, when was your rookie year? Like when did you first start calling games?
2017.
Do you find it really difficult, first off, and how long did it take you in order to get into the swing of things?
I'll tell you what.
What is the most challenging aspect about you calling a game?
The most challenging thing.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good question, man. I'll be honest.
Please.
Being play-by-play is the hardest job I've ever done. I've been a studio host. I've been a sideline reporter. I've done all that before. That's easy. Play-by-play, you got to be quick-witted. You got to be on your toes. And I remember it was probably my second year with the Kings, maybe my first year. And I found myself, comparing myself to Mike Breen, comparing myself to Mark Jones, comparing myself to the game's greats. And I woke up one day and I said, Kyle, you know what? As you do this, one thing you got to do is be yourself no matter what. You can't be Mark Jones. You can't be Mike Breen. And so if it works out or not, at least you know at the end of the day, you are you. And ever since that point, what you see is who I am in general, like in person, on the radio show, at home with the kids. And so it's a challenging job, man. It's an art to it. And, I'd say, especially in this job where I'm at right now, I'm learning every game. Every game you take something, you're like, oh man. I will say this, TV people and people in media in general, we're probably our worst critics. Like, we're harder on ourselves than anybody. And so when I go back and watch a game or I have a game-winning call, it's like, oh, man, I wish I could have said this. But you only get one shot at those things, You got to get it in the moment. And so that's my background, man.
2017, that was Celtics?
Celtics Pacers, yes. I filled in for Mike Gorman, and that was the first, I do believe, 2017. That was my first gig. I actually got offered the Oklahoma City job.
Really?
Full-time Oklahoma City job in 2019. I think it was, but I turned it down. The wife didn't want to move to OKC, didn't want to relocate. And I'll tell you really quickly here, the reason she didn't want to move there, she took the kids to the playground. And at the time, I think my son was 5 years. So he was 9 and my daughter was 6. Took the kid to the playground. And she saw this guy at the playground. He was there with his kids or grandkids, but he had a gun holstered on his hip. And she was like, you know what? It's just not where I want to be right now. And so we turned the job down and decided to ultimately take this job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steven. How about Rich on Sactown Sports? Hey, Rich, on the Drive Guys. What's up?
Hey, good morning, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up now?
It's not morning where we are, but fire away.
Well, I'm calling from San Diego.
Oh, okay. It ain't morning down there either, Rich.
Did I say good morning?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
You think, but anyway, I was listening to Drapes talk about his golf game with Mike Bibby, and it brought me back to Sacramento because I am a native Sacramentan, and in fact, the company I was with back in the day when they had the Lottie Divock Charitable. It was the first annual Charitable at Country Club Lanes, and we all had a player play, bowl with our group.
Yeah,
and Mike Bibby was with us, right? And I beat his ass.
Oh my God! Just dump on Mike Day. Huh? So just like I kicked his butt, you did it too. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, while we're piling on, I figured it'd be a good time to kind of bring up a really good memory, But what I want to say that I remember mostly about Mike Bibby was it was kind of interesting because when you're bowling there and you got all these people and it's a big event, and I guess why you said you were there? You remember that event?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah, it was the first annual Vlade Divac Charitable, and so there was a lot of people, like clamoring around and up close and this and that, and Mike was like nervous. He goes, "Man, I'm not used to these people being so close to me," stuff like that. He was saying to me, and it was just kind of interesting, interacting with them. And there was like 6 or 8 of us, we, like I said, we just had the one lane, and he was on our team, so to speak. But I had a higher score than him. And then, next day on the internet, you could see where it showed, the charitable, it had my name and it had Mike below me. And I had a higher score. It was pretty cool.
Thanks, Rich.
That's nice. Good call, Rich.
You only mentioned 14 times. I had a higher score than Mike Bibby.
I know. Hey, when you beat a professional athlete at something,
yeah, I know.
You know what?
I know.
You're going to brag about it, right?
Those were fun. I don't know if I was at that one. I know I remember being at the events. They had a lot of those. Those were a lot of fun. We'll get back to the phones when we come right back. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Also coming up, got to tell you what was so hard to watch last night. And 1, 2, 3 strikes, and Steve Wilks is out. Coming up with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sactown Sports.
Spins away from the defender in the paint. Soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey, Sacramento. It's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling.
I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Risa, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
What's up? Talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's going on for Chrysler's President's Day sale?
Huge savings on our remaining 2023 Rams as we make room for the hundreds of 2024s arriving daily. This month, you can save up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4s. And you won't find a better selection of new Ram trucks in Northern California with over 500 Rams available.
Well, that sounds like a good deal, but why drive all the way to Hoblet, Chad?
For 4 generations, we prided ourselves on being the small town dealer with big city selection and savings. When you buy from Hoblet, you're family, which is why so many of our customers come back and buy from us time after time.
Come to Hoblet and see what it's like to be treated like family at California's #1 Ram truck dealer. See their full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,000 total net savings after 74.88 factory rebates and 75.12 dealer discount. Rebates may include 1,000 case construction bonus cash. Must have purchased eligible with new case equipment to qualify and 500 first responder bonus cash. Must be carrying member of eligible first responder association. 5 with this net savings. Symbol VIN 700008.
RC Willey has everything for your home, including furniture, mattresses, appliances, electronics, and flooring. With our vast selection, it's easy to find items that fit your style and your budget. We also offer a variety of finance options, including 0 down and 0 interest for 18 months. Whether you're looking to establish new credit or ready to make your space more cozy, we can help. With our flexible finance options, you can easily update your home 1 piece or 1 room at a time. Plus, we have a low price guarantee. Let us help you make your home your way at RC Willey.
Hey, it's Doug Christie here for Folsom Lake Ford. During the President's Day Sell-a-thon, get 0 down deals on approval of credit, huge discounts, and top dollar for all trades. Shop your truck headquarters at FolsomLakeFord.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a 2-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX
had his way with him. Jokic begging for foul calls, complaining to the refs. And that's 2 nights in a row we've seen an imposing center, Jokic and Nurkic the night before in Phoenix, just flustered, flabbergasted, not knowing what to do with Domantas Sabonis, begging the referees for some help.
And is fourth quarter Fox back? Is this De'Aaron
It
Fox,
needs
or
to
is
be.
it a version of, or?
I think it needs to be, Whitey, because when you look at the difference between last season and this season, last season, the Kings found ways to win. And that's something historically that they haven't done. In the past, they had found ways to lose games late. This year, I'm not seeing the fight as much late in the fourth quarter. I'm not seeing the belief as much in the fourth quarter that, the Kings will get it done. Last year with fourth quarter Fox, we knew De'Aaron would come to the rescue. This year, it's like we hope he does, and hopefully this is the start of something here, fourth quarter Fox, because he can get his points anytime, Whitey. I've said this a million times, but timely points is what the Kings need. And last night, I thought the way he took over that game, 10 straight, I think it was, for Sacramento, he scored. Like, that's what they need from him. They need the timely buckets from him.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. By the way, Frankie joins us bottom of the hour, our Kings Insider.
Yeah.
And then Kings icon Jerry Reynolds at 4:30. We haven't had Jerry on in a while. So we got that and more coming up on the Kings. Right now, let's go to Doug on Sactown Sports. Doug, thanks for hanging on. What's on your mind?
Gentlemen, how are you? Thank you.
Yeah, what's up, Doug?
Oh, hey, nice to hear you back in the studio there, Mr. Draper.
Thank you, man.
And it's okay. I only get I stream the games and stuff, so I always got to listen to the yahoos from the other team as they try to announce games and stuff, and it's very hard, so I don't get to see you and Katie do your thing. But that's a story for another time. But what I'm looking at is, was it 27 or 28 games to go?
28 games,
right?
I believe. 28, yeah.
28, okay. So what number are you guys looking at? And I'll take that later, but I'm thinking that 18 and 10 will get you right around that 50 number, and whatever that ends up being, top 4 or 5 through 8 or something. Also, what's the scenario that's going to follow up from here after those games that are done? Then there'll be the draft, and then there'll be free agency and stuff. Any ideas or what you think might happen with Monty and where we're going to be to rectify some of the shortcomings that we have? Have a great call, rest of the show. I'm done.
All right.
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks,
I think
Doug.
a lot of that, they have no idea what they're doing until they see how the rest of this year plays
Right.
out.
See how it plays out, right?
Not to dodge the question, but
I think first order of business probably is make a decision on Malik Monk. And I know you got the draft before you can re-sign him, but to me, that's priority number one.
and it may be tough financially to retain him.
Yeah, but I think they have the money. They don't have his full bird rights. I don't think they. I think they have partial bird rights. The key is going to be who else might be interested in him. Like, what if somebody offers him $20 million a year? It's hard to, if you're Malik, you're like, it's hard to, begrudge him going to take the bag.
I think he'd like to stay here, and I know the Kings like to keep him, but it could be very difficult.
Yeah, I think, that if I'm Monty, that's a priority for me because he's been the one consistent off your bench. He's the heart and soul of the team. He gives you that energy, perfect sixth man for the team. As far as draft and free agency, I don't know. You look at the Kings draft picks, it'll probably be conveyed this year to Atlanta, I believe. So they won't have a first round pick. And so then what happens after that? I would like to see this team be active in free agency. But I don't know, money-wise, you can't offer $35 million, $40 million to somebody. Domantas Sabonis' new contract kicks in at $217 million. I do believe De'Aaron Fox is up for an extension as well. And so you're going to have to shell out a lot of money for those guys. As for the final 28 games of the regular season, Whitey, I was driving in thinking about this. Can the Kings go 20-8? And if they do, that's 51 wins.
Right. That's tall order.
Tall order.
8, yeah.
All right, so what do you think? That 18 and 10?
Yeah.
That's still 49 wins ahead of last year's pace, but still probably might not even be good enough for a top 6 this year.
Right. Yeah. I think they're going to be in the play-in, and I hope I'm wrong. That would be exciting, but I don't know if we could handle that around here, the play-in scenario. That's what that's where I think they're going to be, though.
Yeah.
And maybe they get out of it. I'm not saying they will or won't, but I think that they're going to end up in that.
And that's a possibility. When you look at the standings right now, I think there's one team in the top 6 that'll probably fall off, and that's the Pelicans. And not fall off a lot, but I'm thinking that's a team you can catch. Right now, you're a game and a half behind the Pelicans. Dallas actually scares me from the standpoint of they're playing some great basketball right now. They've won 6 in a row. So Dallas might get that spot. Phoenix, I think, is going to be there as well. I think they're a top 6 team.
Yeah. Phoenix, you hope this doesn't happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if, twang, somebody's hammy goes or something,
Brad Beal left the game the other night.
Yeah. So that's the big question with them. I understand what you're saying about the Pelicans, but, they're pretty legit so far. They're 17 and 12 on the road.
It's like, here we are, 60% through the season. And it's like, maybe, Kyle, I need to start taking the Pelicans seriously. And so what's crazy is the Kings are going to have a better record, perhaps, probably, but yet finishing a play-in this year.
Could happen.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And it's just that would be shocking to me. Now, with that being said, as much as I would be upset at a 7 seed, something like that, if you go in an advance and actually make the playoffs and have a first-round matchup, let's say, with OKC. Let's say you play OKC. That would be the matchup. I give the Kings a fighting chance.
Yeah, I do too.
And so ultimately,
I like OKC a lot.
Yeah, but so ultimately, I think this Kings season should be judged not by the first 82, but what happens in the playoffs. Think about it. If you're Miami, did they have a successful season last year?
Yeah, they got to the finals.
Exactly. And so just making the playoffs is one thing. I'd rather them be a play-in and advance to the second round than be the 6th seed and place the Clippers first round and get bounced.
Summer.
And so I'm going to hold, reserve judgment on this Kings team until I see what happens in the postseason.
Now, as far as the Warriors go, last night watching the Warriors, it was hard to watch. The Warriors had an 11-point lead, fourth quarter, about 10 minutes ago. Ty Lue went absolutely ballistic at the officials. Yeah. The Clippers came back. Long story short, the Warriors come out of a timeout. They're down 6 with about 38 seconds to go. Podziemski, who was playing out of his mind, throws in a 3. So you got just under 40 seconds to go. The Warriors are down 3 at home. Clippers have the ball, and Klay Thompson commits an intentional foul. And Steve Kerr has one of the most. Yeah. He couldn't believe. You rarely see a coach that confused, that absolutely flabbergasted. You rarely see that much disbelief on a coach in any sport during a game about something that one of his own players has done.
Yeah, I mean, because it was right in front of your own bench, too.
Yeah, and he's looking to the bench.
Right.
Like, what happened?
Right. It's like you got Steve Kerr there. You saw Chris Paul also saying, no foul. Just play defense.
Even Podziemski, the rookie, was like,
It has just gone from bad to worse for Klay Thompson, and he's a veteran. He should know something like that. And the Warriors continue to find a way to lose the game. 15-point lead at one point, and then they collapse and give up 44 in the fourth quarter. This team, sure, I mentioned it, Whitey, they had went on a nice little winning streak, but they were beating bad teams, shorthanded teams. Last night, it crept up on them again, and they lost. And they got some issues, man. I don't know if you saw the video also. Steph Curry, after Klay's mistake, tried to dap Klay up, and Klay just ignored him.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's Steph Curry. That's your franchise right there. That's supposed to be your boy, and I understand you're butthurt. You're in your feelings right now, Klay Thompson, but Steph is trying to comfort you and say, hey, it's going to be, and you just ignore Steph Curry. There's something going on there.
That was very bizarre. To me, it looked like there's a guy playing like he just found out he was almost traded for LeBron, except LeBron didn't want to do it. You know?
Right.
So somebody with your organization, they were willing to move you out, and Klay seems like the type of guy that would really be bothered by that.
And here's the issue I have with Klay, and I feel for him. His game clearly isn't the same. He's not the same player on both ends of the floor. The shot is failing him a little bit this season, but his body language is just awful out there.
It was that way too last year.
Was it that way last year too?
At times, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, like he's like a Debbie Downer, a rain cloud, And you could just see it and feel it. And Warriors are a proud organization. I know I give them a lot of crap, but they're one of the elite franchises in our league. And what Klay's doing right now, you know, it's almost like he's a malcontent. I don't think he's doing anything behind the scenes, but just when you watch him play, his body language just looks awful.
Yeah, and that's a team that going back to when they were winning championships with KD. Steve Kerr talked about how they have to play with joy. We play with joy. Yeah. That's how we play our best. And Clay ain't playing with much joy these days.
Not much. And like you said,
hard to watch.
Looks like a guy who knows that he was almost shipped out of town for LeBron James. So.
Yeah. What did Candace Parker say? We're witnessing the demise of Klay Thompson. And I guess some people give her some heat for that, but I don't know how you could.
Right. I mean, just the numbers indicate what they are. You know, he's just not the same player.
Yeah. So as I said, Frankie, bottom of the hour. When we come back, we'll get to some more thoughts on the very curious Steve Wilks firing and why it looks so bad and why it really happened. Drive Guys roll on here on Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now, you know, I took the half-hour drive to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, and I came home with the finest car I've ever owned. I'm rocking that brand-new EQS SUV they outfitted me with, and it's stylish and so comfortable. I love Mercedes cars. Also, Mercedes builds amazing commercial vehicles. Now, if you own a business, Mercedes builds commercial vans capable of any job. And with special interest rates as low as 4.9% on new Sprinter vans, plus the available tax breaks on Sprinter vans for commercial use, choosing a Mercedes van is a smart move. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has a huge full-service commercial fleet center. Go see my good friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Just a half-hour drive down I-5 from Sac, and it's online all the time at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Wow, how about this, Drapes? I thought everybody was feeling good about this Kings win. On the text line, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. I'm not trying to take anything away from the win last night, but we all have to admit that the Nuggets without Jamal Murray are really not as good of a team.
Put your name on it.
And KCP, too.
Yeah, Jay.
I think Jay might have sent that text.
I know, right?
I would have just told you.
Yeah.
I just told you.
Yeah, that's true. You know, and the Nuggets haven't been whole in any of the games we faced them this season. Even on Friday, they were without Michael Porter Jr. at KCP. First time out, they were without Jamal Murray. And so, yeah, I guess. But for this Kings team, which we've seen them lose to shorthanded teams before, last night was a good win.
Yeah, and you were still down 16. At altitude,
right.
And to win every win, and they needed to win. So yeah, no one's saying that's it. Crown them,
crown
their ass. No
right, and Aaron Gordon was playing his butt off too. Aaron Gordon was a beast last night, and Jokic was still out there, and you nullified him. That's a good win last night.
Yeah. Now, Jay, you did say that you had a different take on the game, and I don't know what it is, and if you don't
want to share
that
sure.
now? Yeah.
What you got?
It's kind of in the same form of fashion of putting together with that texter said. And at the same time of nothing was gained. And I understand that to continue, it sounds crazy because if you would have lost, you would have lost footing. But the other part of it, the first thing that popped in my mind when I saw the game at the end was Drapes talked about yesterday when you guys were talking about the Warriors being fool's gold. And that's kind of how I saw last night's win. All wins, as Mike Brown last night said, mean something right now. Yep. And also Mike Brown said, you know, we also have the sound where he said after the All-Star break, everything counts. Like this is, you know, this one counted, but everything counts after that. And I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be the negative Nancy person to have glass not full, or have glass empty. I just think it was fool's gold. It was almost like gold plated, not gold 100% through, but gold plated. Like you got the gold plated necklace.
Right. On the outside.
Yeah, on the outside.
Okay.
And so I think they should be beating the Nuggets. without KCP and Jamal Murray. I understand they still have Jokic, but to get down 15, and they showed hard, as you guys have explained eloquently, I'm not sure, man. I think it makes me uneasy on where they're going because they didn't gain anything. And at the same time, I thought, yet again, they fell down. Yet again, they fell down to a good team that's probably most people consider better than them. And yet again, as that texter said, they didn't have Jamal Murray or KCP. I think if both those guys were playing, they lose that game. And now we're talking about something a little different. And so I believe it's a little fool's gold. Like, look, I'll take the nickel-plated, the gold-plated necklace right now, but I know down the road it may turn me a little green. You know?
Let me tell you how I feel about it. Then you bring it home if you would,
go ahead.
Drapes. One of the reasons I felt relief after the game last night is because I'm not sure how good this team is. And sometimes there's a whoo. You know, are they as good as they were last year, or is this a team that's barely hanging on? You know, is this a team that's things are going to go the wrong way in the second half? Oh, I hope not. I don't know. This team's so up and down. So a win like last night, to me, part of the thing to celebrate is, woo, okay. You know what? They're pretty good. They're not a terrible team, because that at times has been on the table this year. As bad as that sounds, it's like, wow, that was a nice win.
Yeah, I think it was a nice win. And I hear what you're saying, Jay. Without those two guys, you should beat the Nuggets. You probably shouldn't get down. But I chronicled just what happened last night. 8:00 game in Phoenix. You get to Denver at 2:45. Like, that was a tough game, man. And you came out sluggish, but yet you found some way to muster up the energy to get it done. I'm about to say something here, guys, and it's bothering me, the narrative that we're having with this Sacramento Kings team. And I'm going to ask Jerry about this and Frankie about this as well. Last segment, Whitey, we just talked about, and we had the caller who asked, 28 games left to go. How good, what's their record? And we both said they could go 18-12. That would put them at 49 wins ahead of last year. So technically, they would be a better team than last year. But the narrative and the negativity surrounding this team is starting to bother me right now. We always want to point holes into, well, Denver didn't have this guy. You shouldn't, but they're about to have 49 wins. They're about to have consecutive seasons of 48 and 49 wins. That should be celebrated here in Sacramento instead of, after every loss, get rid of Mike Brown. De'Aaron Fox is checked out. It's like Rick Pitino said. The negativity in this town sometimes sucks. Rick Pitino said that in Boston. I'm getting that vibe right now with this Kings team a little bit.
We don't know if they're going to win 49 or 48.
But
You're right. If they do, yes, that's worth celebrating. But the way this team has been up and down, there's reasons why some of the times wonder if they can get there.
But, Whitey, sure, it looks different. Sure, it feels different. But we have to deal in reality. Through 52 games or whatever it is, 54 games, they have the same exact record this season as they had last season. And so it may look bad. It may feel bad. But the reality is, in black and white, it's actually the pretty same season. We looked at the numbers also last night on the game broadcast. The offensive ratings down a little bit. Yes, defensive ratings a little up, but by and large, they're the same team. Well, the results are the same. Why are we looking at it as a negative thing this Kings season?
Who's not dealing in reality? What did they finish last year in the West?
It's not about that, Whitey. It's not about that. It's okay. So to hold up to your expectations for this team, they need to win 60 games so they could be the third seed. No, they need to be 58 games just to be the third seed.
My point is, I can understand why there's more negativity, because fans being fans, we assume they're going to be better than last year.
They're better than last year.
No,
they're about to be 40. If they go to 18-12, 49 wins is better than last year.
Are they going to finish third?
It doesn't matter. How about this?
That's the whole
thing.
The
Kings are better, but so is everybody else.
Okay.
You just said we thought they would be better this year. They actually are. The problem is the Kings aren't worse than last year. They're better than last year, but Minnesota took a larger leap. OKC took a larger leap. The Clippers figured it out. So the Kings are actually a better team this year, numbers-wise, in terms of record, if they go out and win 49 games. But the reason that they're not number 3 is because the other teams are better.
But if you can't keep pace, and you know this, if you can't keep pace with your competition, you're losing, you're falling behind. And that's what fans are concerned about. We don't know yet where it's going.
So if they win 51 games but finish 6th, is that a bad regular season? Are we down?
6 would not be a bad regular season.
So 7th would, though.
Well,
if it's just separated
out of the play-in.
If it's just separated by the Pelicans winning the tiebreaker, same record as the Pelicans, could be 6, but because they lost the tiebreaker, they're 7. All of a sudden, it's a bad season.
You have to get out. You have to get into the first round.
So ultimately, it's judged in the playoffs. Then
a lot of it is,
right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of both, though, fellas. I think it's both right. Like, as a standpoint, I think they are better than where they are, and the West is better. And, we've used this word 100 times on this show, is expectations are better, and, they're required
they're higher,
a little more.
Whether they should be or not,
right.
which is maybe part of the problem.
Right. And I think that's part of what Drapes is saying. And that's, Drapes, I'm kind of from the school of where you're saying is, I've said this all year, let it be. Let's get to the finish line first. We don't have to react after every single game.
Every game.
Like, it's not the woe is me. The sky's not falling down. The clouds not coming. We're not having an apocalypse because they went on a 2-3 game losing streak. At the same time, they went on a 5-game losing streak. Oh, no, they're not winning a championship. Let's see how it plays out and take it. Not necessarily react day by day, but let's take it day by day. And so I think it's a combination, at least for me. And I think for a lot of fans, it's tough because of where the Kings have been so long.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I think part of it, Kyle, is
where Drapes, you've been here for 3-4 years.
It's unfairly negative because fans have been through just some tough times going back years and years and years. And it's almost like a defense mechanism. You start to think, well, it's the Kings. Okay, here we go again. That's not fair. It's not right.
It's not fair. Yeah. But here's the thing. And this is, we got Frankie and we'll ask him about this coming up in just a minute. But if the Kings had this season last year.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
If we flip-flop seasons and
totally
they had
agree.
the same season last year, it'd be, we're going to end the streak. This is great. Yep. And so it's just the negativity is starting to get to me, man. This team is on pace to have the same record or even better record. We mentioned it with 28 games left to go. You go, 16-12, 18-10, something like that. You're at 49 wins. And that's going to be a negative that we're going to look down. Sacramento's going to look down on 49 wins. Who are we? Like,
I don't think so. Yeah. But see, but Whitey, is it we're looking down on it, or is it we expect it to do more?
Yeah,
that's why I say can it be both though, Drapes? Yeah. Because they can be a better team or they can be the same team, but the same result, same outcome. Kind of 49ers is like, well,
But what do we expect from this team?
What do they have to do to get to 49 here? They'd have to go. What is that?
18-10.
Yeah, so they'd have to play well the rest of the way.
Yeah,
and I think that people would feel pretty good about that.
Right, and it's a possibility.
Yeah.
For sure. They can do that. March is an easier schedule in terms of they got so many games at home. Exactly, and they can do that. And so I'd go back to what was our expectations for this? Do we expect 54 wins? Is that what do we expect from this Kings team?
Some people probably did.
And I would say Vegas and Hollinger and those guys had us at 43.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But isn't now the expectations after last year reaching the postseason is kind of what you said, Drapes, is now the expectations is kind of what happens in the playoffs.
Right, the playoffs.
Like I expected the Kings and maybe both of you guys, and it sounds like most fans, the Kings will make the postseason. Now, let's see what happens. Up until then, it's just kind of like get there.
Yeah.
I know I'm the 50th person to say this, but as fans, we expect it to go, you win this many, then the next year you're going to go up, then you're going to go up, you're going to go up, and it just doesn't. It's not linear that way.
Right,
so, yeah. Oh, yeah. You look at the recent history of the Kings, this is a great season.
It's a great season.
It is. I get that. It really is. You compare it to last year, maybe you can quibble, but in the recent history of the Kings, it's another great year. Frankie Cardicelli joins us next. What's the best thing Frankie saw from the Kings in the first half? Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear Hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We're looking at partly cloudy skies for the day ahead, along with light winds out of the south. Today, temperatures come back close to average. Expect low 60s and overnight lows in the 40s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Doug Christie here. It's Folsom Lake Kia's President's Day sales event. Save on new 2024 Kias with low payments, low finance rates, and zero down deals on approval of credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia in the Folsom Auto Mall.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. Enjoy over 80 table games, the hottest slot machines, and our thrilling high limit room. Plus, with Sky River rewards that add up and up, and 17 bars and restaurants to experience. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777. Get your retirement savings to play ball with your retirement plan. Call Cap Trust today at 916-924-7527 or log on to captrust.com.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Start your 2024 grilling season right with a new lifetime warranty Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My personal Napoleon P500 series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro. It's incredible. Napoleon Prestige grills, versatile grilling for every occasion. Form, function, and luxury can come in the same package. Just go to your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply for the best selection today, or visit Napoleon.com for a dealer near you.
Maida Chevy has 2.9% APR financing on every new 2024 half-ton Silverado in stock. 2.9 for 72 plus great Maida Chevy savings on new Silverado. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's try.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my friends at Fire Wings talking about Wings Day Wednesday. That's right, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. 3-flavor lineup includes 7 classic, 7 dry rub, and 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. A great place to watch and enjoy sports with friends. 21 delicious flavors to choose from. Save time. Order online for pickup or delivery. Just go to firewings.com or download the app. Find a location near you. Order online. Earn rewards. Fire Wings. Just wing it.
Hey, it's Doug Christie here for Folsom Lake Ford. During the President's Day Sell-a-thon, get zero down deals on approval of credit, huge discounts, and top dollar for all trades. Shop your truck headquarters at FolsomLakeFord.com.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install the new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Well. Thanks for being with us today. You know what stinks is that now we don't have any NBA basketball for a while, Drapes. And I know you deserve. You get time off. You deserve it. I understand
Carmichael Dave, he deserves some time. He gets his time off, too.
Yeah, you know how busy he is.
Talking NBA, covering games.
During the season. So I don't begrudge anybody that. But I don't like that down period without any NBA game.
Yeah, it's tough, man. And, it's funny. I talked to my son this morning before school, and he's like, Dad, you know what this weekend is? All-Star Weekend. Mac McClung, Jaylen Brown. I'm like,
did he really say Mac McClung?
No, he loves Mac McClung. Oh, yeah, he's a Mac McClung guy. And I'm like, dude, we going to Cabo tomorrow. He's like, I know, but we're going to be watching the All-Star game, right? And I'm like, they got to be broadcasting it down there, right? I should be able to stream it or something, right?
Yeah,
he's going to be on the beach in Cabo, 78 degrees outside, and he's watching Jacob Toppin or whatever it is, not even Obi Toppin, Jacob Toppin in the slam dunk contest. He's pumped for it. I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah. Our Sactown Sports Kings Insider joining us now. The one and only Frankie Cardicelli. Frankie, how about that win last night? We're having a little discussion here. Hey, great win, or shouldn't get too carried away because the Nuggets were shorthanded. Which side do you come down on?
I mean, I think we've seen many times that shorthanded teams in the NBA doesn't really mean much. I mean, they're also NBA players. I mean, especially in Denver's case, they still have a lot of quality guys out there, and of course, the big one in the Joker. I mean, how many games have we seen the Kings lose to teams that have been severely shorthanded? And the Kings, I think, if you were to poll the league or fans around the league, they'd hold the Kings in pretty high regard as a decent to good team. So I'm looking at it as a good win, especially when you factor in the fact it's on the second out of a back-to-back when you're traveling from Phoenix to Denver after playing a hard-fought game in Phoenix where your main guys played a lot of minutes. De'Aaron Fox played 40 minutes in back-to-back nights. I think it's a quality win and one that the Kings really, in my opinion, needed to have going into this break. So I think it's definitely a quality win.
Yeah, I agree with you, Frankie, 100%, man. And I'm looking at De'Aaron Fox, 40 against Phoenix, 30 against Denver last night, coming through with 15 in the fourth quarter. What version of De'Aaron Fox do you think the Kings need night in and night out?
I mean, that's kind of the De'Aaron Fox we saw last year. I mean, how many games did De'Aaron Fox have those double-digit fourth-quarter performances? There were countless. And I think that we've seen it happen more in the beginning of the year. And then, of course, whether it's him running out of gas or going through some injuries or what have you, he's been having to deal with, those changes. And obviously when he gets back to that version of himself, he's unstoppable. And last night was that exact version of De'Aaron Fox where opposing defense is just kind of, there's nothing they can really do about it. I mean, he kind of gets down, not kind of, but he definitely got downhill last night in the fourth and did more of the attack in the paint that we've seen from him over his career. And of course, he's gotten the ability to knock down the three, and that's something he's kind of taken in stride this year. And we've seen him kind of rely on that a little bit late in games, but it was nice to see him attack the paint last night because Denver really had no answer for him. And again, that's the De'Aaron Fox the Kings need. If the Kings are going to maximize these final 28 games and finish in the top 6 spot in the West, they need that kind of performance from De'Aaron Fox more times than not. And I know that the All-Star game has been a big topic of conversation. And does De'Aaron Fox ever be an All-Star? Absolutely. But from listening to what Mike Brown said last night about how banged up these guys are, De'Aaron Fox clearly has not been 100% healthy, but healthy enough to take the floor. I think it's come at a great time for a guy like Fox to get off his feet for 7 days.
Frankie Cardicelli with us, a little peek behind the curtain. I know last week, Drapes, you compared Frankie to Mr. Rogers. And I thought I was going to be, when he came on, I thought maybe we should have the Mr. Rogers music. Should that be Frankie's new music?
Yeah, if Frankie's okay with it, because he took it as a compliment when I said that last week.
Well, anything's better than Kid Rock, man. If we're moving on to Kid Rock, I'm
with you, Frankie. I agree with you 100% on that one.
Kid Rock. Yeah,
I'm all for it.
All right, we'll get that for you, Frankie. Thank you. I wanted to ask you, what was the most encouraging thing that you saw from the Kings in the first half, and what would you say was the most discouraging thing you saw?
From the first half? I mean, from the first half, really, I think it's easy to say Domantas Sabonis is not a guy that is playing out of his mind. I mean, again, it's incredible looking at, I was just looking, just going over social media and seeing the Ringer updated their top 100 players list. And for some weird reason, Domantas Sabonis is trending downward.
What?
I think I don't know. I'm not sure. Again, it's the Ringer, and historically, they kind of go against the grain when it comes to the Kings. They don't give them much props. I don't know how you can look at a guy that's averaging nearly a triple-double, 20, 13, and 8, and you're going to say he's turning downward. But he's been an anchor for the Kings. As bad as things got early, I mean, whether it's scoring the basketball, distributing, rebounding, he did keep the Kings in it from things getting ugly. I mean, obviously the Kings fell down by 16 points, and that's kind of when things unravel. And again, in my mind, watching a game like that, and I think a lot of people like you guys who watch the Kings, when the Kings fell down by 16 points on the road to Denver, I think you kind of can just figure that the game was going to get away from them, and that wasn't the case. I think Domantas Sabonis was a big reason why that didn't happen, and De'Aaron kind of took over from there. But the defense in the second half was what was encouraging for me. When you hold Denver to, I think they shot below 40% from the field for the night, and they got some good stops late. That's very encouraging to see the Kings, who probably had tired legs after traveling, and I think they got in around 3 a.m. Is that right, Drapes? I heard you guys got in at 2:45.
Yeah, we got to the hotel at about 2:45. Yep.
That's just insane. It's insane to see the Kings locking like that against a very good team, a rested Denver Nuggets team. So the defense, again, we've seen it kind of go up and down this year, but when the Kings are really locked in on defense, and I think the numbers show they've been a better team defensively. Is it drastic? No, but I think there have been more positives than bad this year, and I really like what I saw from them in the second half on the defensive end.
No, I agree with you, and I thought Chris Duarte was a big part of that. What do you see as his role? Is this just a one-time thing? I thought Mike Brown pushed the correct button last night. How do you see the bench rotation these last 28 games of the season?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think with the back-to-back, I think that was kind of a matter of Mike just saying, Chris has fresh legs. He's healthy after missing some time with the ankle injury. And, again, he's a guy that he called on earlier in the season for defensive purposes. And when you see him do what he did last night, that kind of shows the Kings, who, again, I think one of the main things that the Kings needed to do during the deadline, or people were saying, was they need to go bolster the bench. They need to bring in a guy who can play defense. Royce O'Neal, a name we heard a lot about. Dorian Finney-Smith. Is Chris Duarte one of those guys? No. But he is somebody that can provide you with length at the wing position and someone that can guard those 2s and 3s that the Kings really have had a hard time slowing down this year. And again, he brings you more on the offensive end. He had some big shots he knocked down, or a big triple at least late in the game, that maybe someone like Kessler Edwards, if people are concerned, or the coaching staff is concerned about him, what he can bring on offense, there's been some inconsistencies there. Chris Duarte can bring you a little bit more while bringing a little bit less on defense. But if he's able to defend at that level, I think Mike Brown might give him a little more look when they come back from the All-Star break, because the Kings do have a very short bench right now. I mean, really, 7 guys played more than 10 minutes last night. I'm pretty sure. I think it was just your starting 5, Trey Lyles and Malik Monk, and the Kings need to be a little deeper than that as they get later in the year, because, the dog days are here and they're going to continue, and it's going to be a very tough stretch against these, 3-4 teams the Kings are battling for a top 6 spot in Dallas, the Lakers, the Warriors. You need to have some fresh legs come in there, and it was nice to see Chris Duarte come in and do just that, provide some solid defense and knock down a big shot when they needed him to.
Well, that dovetails nicely into Frankie Gets Carded, where we give Frankie a basketball card that reflects our views of the job that he's done. So you can't really see it here on YouTube, but Kyle, if you could describe that for Frankie and for the
let's see what we got here.
If do you deserve that today?
Oh, a Chris Duarte rookie select card.
How about that?
That's impressive. Panini, yes. I think he deserves this one. Yeah, this is a pretty snazzy card,
Yeah.
I like it. I'm honored, Whitey. I'm honored. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to getting that one. It'll go right with the George Murison card.
Yeah. So you got the Duarte card. We got the music for you, Frankie. It's just all coming together for you. Let you know how much we appreciate your views on the Kings.
It's a beautiful day in this.
How many games will they end up winning this year?
Yeah, I kind of heard you guys going over that the last segment. I started thinking about it myself. It's kind of interesting to see where they are in comparison to last year. And I mean, the strength of schedule is noteworthy. You go through Denver and Phoenix, and they're now from 5th to 8th in strength of schedule. I'm going to go ahead and predict Kings finish with 47 wins, which is 1 less than last year. And that might not put them in top 6, but I'm hoping maybe a reverse jinx kind of situation can happen. I mean, I'm hoping for the best, but the West is just so brutal right now, and I think the Kings, when they're at their best, they can win more than that. They can exceed that limit,
right.
But they're going to need to really take advantage of this break and get healthy and stay healthy, because the West isn't going to stop for anybody. And of course, you see what the Lakers and the Warriors are doing. Their schedule's a lot easier, but you never know. You can't predict what's going to happen, but I think this group is very capable of finishing top 6 and getting near 50 wins. Last night we saw them do it against a very good team on their home floor. The Nuggets were the top home team in the West. So I think the Kings can be in that 47-48 range again, which might get them where they want to go, might not. We're going to have to see, because the West is a nightmare right now.
Frankie, you're the best. Thanks. We appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the All-Star break.
Yes, you too. All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Speaking of guests, Jerry Reynolds is going to join us at 4:30. Coming up here with the Drive Guys. Another twist today. Another unexpected twist in this A's relocation saga. What it means for Sacramento. Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay partly cloudy through the night tonight. Overnight lows will drop down to the upper 40s. Tomorrow, look for a mixture of sun and clouds with light winds. Highs will make the low to mid 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
The 2024 Accord is once again a winner of the 2024 Car and Driver's 10 Best Cars, making Honda the winningest brand in Car and Driver Award history. Come drive it. We are Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-952-1155. That's 800-952-1155.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton & Price in your corner. When you call Ashton & Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening, Chad, for Chrysler's President's Day sale?
I haven't been this excited about a deal in a long time. Right now, you can save $18,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Jeep Gladiator EcoDiesels. This thing can get up to 28 miles per gallon on the highway, and it's the perfect combination of off-road fun and work truck. Plus, it's the #1 new quality vehicle among midsize trucks, according to J.D. Power.
And you're selling them with an $18,000 discount? That seems a little crazy.
Well, we do things a little different here at Hoblet. We're here to help you find the vehicle you need at the best possible price. That's why we don't have a bunch of dealer markups, surprise add-ons, or fees. At Hoblet, you get the small town experience with the big city savings and selection.
There's no better time to take advantage of this savings at Hoblet. See their full selection at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
At Hoblet, you get the small town experience with the big city savings, selection, and no surprise hidden fees.
18,000 total net savings after 11,096 factory rebates and 6,904 dealer discounts. Rebates may include 500 first responder bonus cash. Must be current member of eligible first responder association. Qualify 5 with this net savings. Sample VIN 553-385. See dealer for details.
Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, Kyle Draper's back for me down the road with the Kings. Kings with a big win, and now for basketball fans, sure, we got the All-Star game coming up this weekend, but no basketball, no NBA basketball for a while. We'll get back to the phones in just a moment here at 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. First today, a very big day potentially in the ongoing twisting, turning saga of the A's relocation to Las Vegas. As you may have heard, the San Francisco Chronicle reported a couple days ago that the A's are meeting today with Oakland Coliseum officials and Oakland officials about extending their lease. You know, the A's are playing at the Oakland Coliseum this year. Then beyond that, for 3 years before they move to Vegas, I don't know where they're going to be. Even the commissioner said this week, they're going to play somewhere in the West. So we, of course, have heard that perhaps they would be coming to Sacramento. We did not think that staying in Oakland was a possibility, but they're talking today. So what does that mean? We're not sure. It could mean that the A's, maybe the commissioner told them, you got to talk to Oakland. They said, okay, we'll just talk to them. It could be that Oakland now has a little more leverage. Maybe Oakland now can say, all right, well, we can help you, but we're going to need some kind of assurances. I don't know if they have this much leverage, but could they say, we will help you with this, but we're going to need some guarantee that we're going to get an expansion team down the road. Or we can help you with this, but we're going to need a guarantee that the colors of the A's and the A's name and the brand stay in Oakland. I don't know. It depends on how desperately Oakland actually needs, how desperately the team needs Oakland and vice versa. But the possibility of the A's staying in Oakland for 3 more years before they move to Vegas is now apparently a distinct possibility. I would rather they stay in Oakland, and I've been back and forth on this. I would rather they stay in Oakland than come here. If the A's came here, Drapes, for 2-3 years, whatever, I would be there all the time, but I would be very uncomfortable with the whole thing. And I would just feel better about them staying in Oakland. Maybe that leads to something for Oakland with another team down the road. If they come here, just, having almost lost the Kings, yeah, it'd be fun, but it wouldn't feel right.
Well, I get it. And it would feel like we're being used almost, but I look at Oklahoma City in terms of basketball. Remember when the Hornets had to relocate there?
Yes. Yeah.
And it showed the world that, you know what, we can support a team. And then all you need is whether it's an owner or the league and Manfred. You know what? We really didn't think about Sacramento, but they had success for 3 or 4 years with the Oakland A's. That's a great market. And so I get it. It feel like,
it's a chance for Sacramento to showcase baseball. Look at us. We could do this. I get that.
Right. And the thing, and I think this is what you're saying. It's like, you really don't want us. You really don't want to be here, but you're just using us because they don't want you anymore. It's like, almost like, an ex-flame or something like that. Oh, now you want to come back or now. And so I get it. But I will say, I've talked to A's fans about this very issue. They said if the A's played in Sacramento, they would support it because ultimately they're A's fans.
Right.
They're not fans of John Fisher, not fans of what he's doing, but a chance to see their team up close and personal every day, they would support it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'd have to swallow their pride and everything like that, but especially for kids too, a chance to see Major League Baseball in Sacramento.
That would be tremendous.
Some of the game's greats coming to town in Sacramento. Can you imagine the Yankees coming to Sacramento?
I said I would be there all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
JJ said he wouldn't, though, right? He would not participate.
I don't know, man. But see, Jay is a grown man. Like when you got kids and Aaron Judge is staying at the Sawyer Hotel or something. Can you imagine the scene outside there?
What Jay said. I remember we were at the arena that day and we were talking about this, and he said, I want no part of it. And then we said, Sacramento would be kind of showcasing itself as a future home of baseball. He said, "Oh, yeah, I got to get back to that." I hadn't thought of that.
A chance to maybe, bring baseball to Sacramento. Yeah, I think we'd have to swallow our pride, and say, I would do it.
There's more to it than the pride, though. Too, it's kind of in a way it could be seen as A's fans like, don't support this. You know, they're taking our team. Kings fans know what that's like. And in a way, it would be like going, sorry. Yeah, I understand it's hard for you, but I have to do this. You know, in some way, and some of these fans are in Sacramento are both. They are Oakland A's fans and Sacramento Kings fans.
Yeah.
It would be nice if we could say, yes, we are supporting you. Yes. Right. But that'd be hard to do if they're here. So that's what I'm not comfortable with. That's why, in a way,
then they would leave.
Yeah.
Too. That's the thing.
Right.
You know,
fans don't. Oakland A's fans say, don't support that. Don't help Fisher. Please, I've heard this. I've seen this. People in Sacramento, help us, support us. Don't support Fisher. So that's.
How do you do both?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Maybe, obviously if they stay in Oakland for a few years, if they come to some agreement, then we're not on the horns of that moral dilemma.
If they do stay in Oakland, is everything A-okay? Is it okay to go to games then or no? Because ultimately, it's really not about, it is about where the team is and all that. It's about the ownership. Mm-hmm. If there's different ownership, Fisher decided to sell, A's fans would return in droves, Mm-hmm. I think it's a boycott of the ownership right now. But if they play in Oakland for the next 3 or 4 years, before they move, would A's fans even support them then? Would they go to Oakland? Look at the attendance numbers as is.
Right. They're trying. They've been actively trying to drive fans away.
Right.
That's what they've been trying to do. And remember, the boycott was a reverse boycott.
Right.
A's fans, we're going to come and show everyone that we can show up in numbers. And you also have the independent league team, the Oakland Ballers, which is starting play in Oakland. That's nice, but I don't. The place doesn't even seat 3,000. It's a great community effort, and it's a really nice thing. But I don't see how it has really much to do with the A's situation.
Yeah, those are apples and oranges. Those are two different leagues.
Yeah.
Baseball, they're not even in the same stratosphere. You're talking about a major league team. And so I'm not sure. It looks like, based on these new developments, the A's are going to stay in Oakland for the time being, right? Like they're trying to,
They might. Yeah, they're working on that. And do they really, are they interested? Is it something where the commissioner said, you have to do this? Maybe Oakland has some leverage here and Oakland can get something out of this. We'll help you out, but we're going to need a few things.
And did you see Salt Lake, Utah just unveiled their plans for a multi-billion-dollar baseball stadium as well?
Yeah, so it's planned. They don't even have the stadium, right?
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, and we're going to have Casey Pratt on tomorrow, right?
Actually, Brody Brazil.
Tomorrow. Yeah, it's our guy Brody.
Story.
Yep. Yeah, he's going to be on tomorrow to talk about this.
Yeah, so maybe by then we'll know more about this meeting. But again, no one expected Oakland to be talking to the A's about an extension of the lease. So it's just surprise after
Is there
surprise
still a chance?
Surprise. There's always a chance.
You're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah, look how slipshod this whole Vegas thing has been.
Right.
Is there a chance it'll fall through?
Yes. No, you're right.
You're right. All right. When we come back to the Kings, will last night be remembered for the return of this king? And we'll get back to your calls as well. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Keep it here to Sactown Sports for the Sacramento Kings push toward the postseason.
Get analysis from our local shows, breakdowns from our Kings insiders, and all the thrilling moments from the G-Man.
Fox now on the left angle, gets to 2-point range, lobs it out to Herder, wide open. 3 to seal the deal. He's got the triple, and Fox has a career-high 16th assist.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-5795. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-583-5795. That's 800-583-5795. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cars and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cars Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Welcome to a brand new year filled with limitless possibilities at Kia of Vacaville. Prepare yourself for an extraordinary driving adventure as we present our impressive 2024 vehicle lineup. Step into the future with state-of-the-art technology, groundbreaking features, and the sleek design that has become synonymous with Kia. Immerse yourself in the dynamic performance of the all-new Kia Sportage, where captivating design meets exhilarating power. Experience the fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel that extends your journey with every mile. Indulge in the sophistication of the Kia Telluride, seamlessly blending luxury and versatility. Don't overlook our eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, ideal for those who prioritize efficiency without sacrificing style. If you're in search of the EV9, Kia of Vacaville has it in stock or available for delivery. Visit Kia of Vacaville today and cruise into 2024 with confidence and style. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets the road. Elevate your drive, elevate your year. Model availability and features may vary. Please see the dealership for details.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense, can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
No fees on all Kings tickets happening now. You can experience Sacramento Kings basketball live with no fees on all remaining games. Watch as the Kings take on the top teams in both conferences, including big matchups against the Bucks, Lakers, Knicks, Clippers, and more. Score big on tickets and cheer on the Beam team as they make a push for the playoffs. Don't miss out. This limited time offer is only valid until February 20th. Visit kings.com/no fees to take advantage of this deal today.
Hey, it's Doug Christie here for Folsom Lake Ford. During the President's Day Sell-a-thon, get 0 down deals on approval of credit, huge discounts, and top dollar for all trades. Shop your truck headquarters at FolsomLakeFord.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Maybe not a must-win last night. No question. It was a much-needed win for the Kings, 102-98. Kyle Draper had the call last night, of course, in Denver. Will last night, Drapes, be remembered as the night that Chris Duarte returned.
I think so.
It could be, huh?
Yes, I think so. And I said it earlier. They didn't bring Chris Duarte here to be your 12th man or 13th man. They didn't bring Sasha here to be a bench rider. They thought they saw something in this guy. And I thought, the ankle injury set him back, but he's shown flashes of what he can do. All he needs to do now is knock down some shots. The effort is there defensively. I go back to the San Antonio game earlier this season. He single-handedly changed the tenor of that game, the tone of that game. And so I think, Monty didn't make any moves at the trade deadline. I think it's because he felt they had the players in-house that could help this team.
Sometimes a baseball team will say at the deadline, we didn't get anybody, but we have so-and-so who's been hurt. They're going to be back. So it's kind of like we added a player.
Right.
So it's kind of the same thing. Duarte, it's like he hasn't done much, but he could be like a midseason addition if he can find his way on the floor and stay healthy.
Exactly. And we like last night, I know it was a small sample size with Chris. He only played 7 minutes, Think about this. He played 7 minutes. I believe it was all in the fourth. Kevin Huerter played 0 in the fourth again. And so that goes back to what I was saying earlier. I think Mike Brown down the stretch in games, fourth quarter of games, he's going with a more defensive-minded unit. And I thought Chris Duarte, he had a couple of deflections.
Mm-hmm.
He knocked down a big three. He got his hand cut, and then he shot that other three that went off the side of the board. That's what happened with that. But he's always competing. It's never like he's not trying or he's just loafing or anything like that. Like, he's always competing hard. And so I do think we'll see him more and more. Because what are our options? What are our alternatives? You got Davion. You got Keon. Do we see Kessler Edwards more? What about Kobe Jones? Does he see? So I think Chris Duarte, the opportunity is there for him to get more minutes.
Yeah. Remember when Duarte was struggling, and this goes back to the preseason. Excuse me, when Huerter was struggling, I meant to say, Duarte started.
Right.
Yeah.
So Mike Brown clearly saw something in this guy. And it's not, and we also got to remember too, Whitey, it's not always about what you do in games. Because we are not privy to what coaches see in practice also.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe Mike Brown is rewarding a guy who's kicked butt in practice. All right, I'm going to give him a shot tonight. And so, what we see in games isn't the full picture always. And, why does Mike Brown play this guy tonight? Well, maybe Chris Duarte had 3 great days of practice or something like that.
I would think if you're a coach, that would drive you crazy.
Right?
Yeah. You didn't even see our last 3 practices. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. JR is back with us. Hello, JR. How are you today?
What's up, tough guys? How you doing?
First time we've talked to you since went down
Exactly. I was about to say, I didn't expect to hear from you until September. Good to have you on.
Well, let's talk about the Kings.
Got him. I love it. All right, JR, you got that. Go ahead, man.
Hey, well, I was just to say my Frankie Steve story. So last year, Game 4, when the Kings went down to Chase Center, I had the privilege to go to the game with some customers, and we walked in, and he was at the elevator going up, and I just yelled out, "Hey, Frankie C!" I really screamed at him, and he's like, "Hey, random fan that I have no idea." and he gives me a fist bump, and then we go in the elevator up, and my customer's like, "Who is that?" I go, "He pretty much runs the Kings." He goes, "He literally looks scared of you. Like, who is that dude?" Love when you guys have him.
That's awesome.
I will switch gears real quick. Yeah, it was pretty cool. He's a great guy.
Yes.
I will switch gears, and no, I don't want to talk about Sunday, but I want to talk about, as a lifelong Giants fan, 100% would support the A's if they played at Rayleigh's. 100% would be like, let's get everyone there and show the world, we can support it, because we all know we could.
Mm-hmm.
If the question is, would they really look at that from a corporate, just like the Kings? Do you have enough money to really put that in place?
Right.
But I love it's the River Cats and it's the Giants, and you get to see Giants players come down and go through the rotation and see some big names. But 100% would be on board if the A's were playing there, and if nothing else, just show that owner that it's the fans that run the world, not the freaking owner. So would put on green and.
Wow.
Whatever color, was it green and yellow, whatever?
Yes, it is.
I wouldn't dress up like an elephant or anything, but I would definitely support that team. And say hi to JR. I love that, man.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
appreciate that. Doesn't look like now that's as likely as it was if the A's, they're talking to Oakland. So maybe we won't even get that chance. Will has been on hold for a while. Will,
my guy,
thanks for hanging on. You're on with Drapes and Whitey. What's up?
Yeah, y'all know y'all wanted me to hang up. I know Drake, you wanted me to hang up, man, but I'm going to get you. What's up, guys? Hey, man, that was a good win.
Yep.
But see, hey, first thing, who was that young guy? Do they have a new point guard or something? I saw a young guy with like blonde hair on the top.
Yeah,
there with the players.
That's Mason Jones. That's the guy that they just converted to a 2-way contract from Stockton. And Mason Jones, great dude. I'm gonna tell you let me tell you a story about Mason real quick. I met him yesterday during warm-ups. He's in the layup line. He's wearing the Kobe reverse Grinch sneakers, and I'm like, dude, those are nice. I said, I need to get a pair of those. He's like, what size you wear? I'm like, 13. He said, oh, you can have these. Talk to me after the game. I had never met the dude, man. Yeah, so he's going to lace your boy.
You in the house, so you can.
I tell you, I've been trying to get sneakers from Malik. I've been trying to get them from Harrison Barnes, De'Aaron. They haven't hooked me up yet. But this new kid, he doesn't know any better yet. That's why. So
that ain't fair, man. So you get, but KD, you got to understand, man. You can't expect the fans to think like you. You're part of the organization, man. Look, and here's the thing. That was a hell of a win. They pulled that out. But what frustrates fans, man, is that they ball when they play Dallas, when they play Phoenix, when they play Denver. They ball, they compete. Even if they lose, it's a good game. They should have at least 35 wins, man. They gave that Milwaukee game away. You was hollering Dame, hit the three, all that. They gave that game away. Look, they let Detroit come in here with half a team and beat us. Okay? Ivy was the only starter on that team. Yep. And then you heard the Hornets coming here beat us.
And Portland.
Portland. That's why the fans be frustrated. We love the Kings. But you can't let weaker teams come here and beat. We should be at least 35 wins, at least.
No, you agree with that? I 100% agree. And those wins. No, but hold up now, because I'm agreeing with you here, and I understand that. At the end of the season, we're going to look back at those losses and be like, man, we got 47 wins. That could have been 52, 53. I get that. But on this day, right now, after that great win last night, even during the game and after the loss to Phoenix, I just feel like we're riding the roller coaster a little too much, and there's not enough positivity, and there's so much negativity right now about this team.
But Dre, the fans, you can't expect the fans. We understand where you coming from, but you got to understand, fans ain't deep into it like you. They just see, okay, damn, Detroit came in here with nobody, and then you remember about 10 games ago, New Orleans came in here without Zion and everybody. Man, we were down by 50. Mm-hmm. Those kind of things, you got to think about the whole season why people be frustrated, man, because, they closed it out last night, and then they beat the Lakers, they beat the Warriors, they beat all these teams, Denver, they beat Dallas, they beat Phoenix, and then we lose to teams we have no business losing to. That's what frustrates. And when we lost to Detroit, I thought I was going to have to call 911 for you, man, because you look like you was going down. You look down with me.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, you can call in anytime, Will, man.
You, Will.
Good stuff.
That's a good point. Yeah, the inconsistency makes people anxious and leaves people feeling
But how quickly
unhappy.
We forget. How quickly we forget where this franchise was just 2 years ago, Whitey.
I know.
2
but as
years
a fan,
ago.
you feel entitled. You feel like this is what we deserve. You don't feel like, oh, we're so lucky that the team isn't winning 30 games.
I just feel like we go from 16 years of mediocrity to all of a sudden now you can't have a bad loss. It's like
mediocrity would have been that was like a goal for many of those years. Mediocrity
That's true. You're right.
Would have been sweet.
You're right. Yeah, below that. And it's like, those bad losses 5 years ago, the season was littered with them. Mm-hmm. And so, like you said, there's stages to this. There's levels to this. They don't go from, making the playoffs, out of the playoffs to making the playoffs to championships in 1 year. There's going to be some growing pains with this team, and that's what we're seeing this season.
What was the most encouraging thing you've seen from the Kings so far this year? It's not really the halfway point, but the All-Star break, a good point for reflection. What was the least encouraging? We have that coming up. Jerry Reynolds, bottom of the hour as we roll on here on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Brakes? We can save you 15% on that. We have OE quality Duralast brake pads and rotors in stock, ready for pickup or delivery. We also have calipers, brake fluid, tools, and anything else you'll need to do the job right. When you get Duralast pads and rotors together, you'll save 15%. It's just part of what makes us America's #1 brakes destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Thanks for being with us today. Some lively conversation on everything from, are we not as appreciative of this Kings team as we should be, to, hey, if the A's come to Sacramento, you get behind them? I think the consensus is absolutely. Here I am saying, I wouldn't be comfortable with it. I don't know, because, feel bad for Oakland fans. And I used to go to Oakland A's games when I was just a kid. But it seems like most people around here are like, let's do it. Bring it. I will go. Just I don't know how likely that is.
Well, here's the thing, too, Whitey. I was thinking about this. Sometimes you have to think about the bigger picture, the good for the city, the quality of life that this could possibly do for the Sacramento area. This could really put Sacramento on the map.
Yeah, it's a ways down the road, though.
It's a ways down the road, but
you're right.
You gotta, you can't just cut off your nose to spite your face or anything like that. You can't just hold this grudge. Who's to say in 10 years what happens today doesn't bring a team here to Sacramento? And so I get it. I would never support them. I don't want to go. But if it meant you could have a Major League Baseball team in Sacramento, I would have to swallow that and be like, you know what? Let's show the world Sacramento deserves a team.
Yep. Here's the other part of that, reading between the lines. I think Chris Biederman I was talking to him about this at a Kings game. Let's say the A's are gone. Sacramento's trying to make a play for a team. Major League Baseball ain't going to put a team in Oakland and Sacramento.
For sure.
If the A's are gone, then in a way, the two cities might in some ways be vying against each other for a team. Now, that'd be down the road a little ways, but that's part of this as well. Yeah. It sounds like, though, I would expect the A's are going to stay. I think the A's are paying $1.3 million per year for rent on the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably worth it for them, isn't it, just to stay there rather than find
uprooting and coming
minor league park in Henderson, Nevada, or wherever they're going to go?
Yeah, and what's the reason for not staying from an A's perspective? Because if I'm them, you just got to be patient. The greener pasture is coming in their eyes, I'm saying. The move to Vegas in their eyes is happening. Suck it up right now. Have your 3 years, this year, and then, 3 more years, I think it is, in Oakland, and then move on. Like Salt Lake, it just doesn't make sense, right?
No.
Yeah.
It'd be a disaster.
A disaster.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I'm not sure beyond this year. I know the lease ends after this year. Was it the A's wanted no part of Oakland, or did Oakland say, which I could understand, you guys stabbed us in the back, so we are not interested in discussing your lease anymore. Whatever the sessions they have today, there are some delicate matters that have to be addressed, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Why? Remind me why we're even talking to you again? Why should we listen to you about any of this?
Yeah, the A's got to come back. John Fisher with his hat in his hand.
And
now he's asking the city to do him a favor after the way he's treated them. Yeah.
At the very least, if I'm the city of Oakland, I'm saying, that rent's going to go up a little bit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Double or
it should
triple.
double, right? You need us now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We're talking about that. We've also been talking about the Kings. Jerry Reynolds coming up, bottom of the hour. How about you, Drapes? What to you so far has been the most encouraging thing from the Kings so far this year? What was the least encouraging as we take our break here?
I think, the most encouraging thing has been the play of Domantas Sabonis. We have a bona fide star. We have a bona fide all-star. Even though he didn't get in this year, he's an all-star caliber player. He's a top 5 center in this league. In my opinion, top 3 center in this league. That has been the most encouraging thing. And the fact that he does it night in and night out. And, last year was no fluke. To me, every time Domas takes the floor, it's a reminder Monte McNair did the right thing, made the right trade, bringing that guy to town. This is some guy we can be proud of. This is a guy that, we know he's going to play hard every night, bring his hard hat. I mean, he wants to be here as well, has a nice young family here. And so I think, the most impressive thing, the most thing that's made me the happiest this year, the play of Domantas Sabonis.
To me, the most encouraging thing is that for all the issues that they've had, they have had a few more injuries. They've had some, as Will detailed for us very skillfully, some bad losses. Yes. We know that Mike Brown has been upset about the officiating. There's been stretches where Herder wasn't playing well, Barnes wasn't playing well. So there's been a lot more adversity than there was last year. And yet they're still in really strong position.
Yes.
That's really impressive.
You're right. Through all the adversity.
They're not where we'd like them to be, but they're still in good position.
Exactly. The struggles of individual players at times as well. Here they are on pace, the same pace as they were a season ago. And so, no, you're 100% right. It's been encouraging to see that this team has, sort of fought through all this adversity, right? And played through it. Because there have been times this season where the outside noise could seep in. The feeling of underachieving could seep in. So the fact that Mike Brown and the players, they've stayed together. You haven't heard much chirping. Nobody wants to get out, trade me. I'm looking at, the Clippers are having a fantastic season, and you got PJ Tucker and Bones Highland wanting to bounce. We don't have that. We got guys that want to be here, that play well together. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Wasn't it last night at one point Domas hurt his thumb?
Yes.
Oh,
did you see? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Katie was like, that was the same thumb.
Yes. And you can
last
tell
season.
It was for a little bit there. It was really hurting.
Yeah, he's hurt every game, though, man. That dude's always, he got hit in the face, too. Remember, he got popped in the face. I forget which player it was. Peyton Watson, I think, fighting over his screen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and when he,
Katie suggested, well, that's a little unnatural. I was like, that's a pretty good shot if you're going backwards, blind with your elbow.
Yeah. And so
she's looking out for your guy.
That's one thing. Katie's always looking out for the squad. That's for sure. So, yeah, those are encouraging signs. What was the other question? Least encouraging, most disappointing.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, and y'all might get on me for this, I'm going to say Keegan Murray for me. Keegan can be so great. He can be so good. He's struggling right now. We've seen flashes of him. I need the consistency from him. I mentioned earlier, 15 points a game over his last, 9 games or 7 games or something. He's averaging, 9 points per game. The world is right there for this guy to take. And I don't, I want it for him so badly. He had the great summer league, California Classic. He's being a two-way player. And so I need more from him. And so I don't know if that's the most disappointing thing or anything, but that's the thing that I probably want to see the most this second half of the season.
We'll say least encouraging.
Right,
That's
right.
palatable.
Yeah, it's not disappointing. It's
Yeah.
just, come on, Keegan. You can be that guy. And
to me, he's part of it, but it's the fact that the Kings made some moves that were designed to help them improve this year, maybe not dramatically. And we've talked a lot about this. Keegan was going to get better. Sasha was going to come in and play well. Duarte was going to help. And I think they were pretty solid moves. JaVale McGee was another one.
Yep.
And none of them have worked to this point.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying those were terrible moves. It's just, it's disappointing that sometimes a team will get lucky. You try a few things and they all work.
Right.
And there's still time for Sasha to get healthier. Duarte, maybe that was the start of something last night. Maybe Keegan finds a stroke again.
Yep.
But that to me has been the least encouraging, is that all the secondary moves around the margins designed to help the Kings get better, they really haven't worked out.
They haven't. And Mike Brown has had to rely on his tried and true guys from last season. And you're right there's still time. And I think Monte McNair expected, Sasha to be a bigger part, Chris Duarte to be a bigger part, and they just haven't had it. They just haven't had that consistency yet. But the thing is, we've seen flashes from every individual. We've seen JaVale have a positive impact in games. Chris Duarte, Sasha have positive impacts in games, but not enough to be firmly cemented in the rotation. And I think, I agree with you. You didn't make a whole lot of moves, but the ones you did make haven't panned out the way you hoped for.
In this day and age, when we have during the tournament, in-season tournament, we have the craziest color schemes on the courts.
Yeah.
And All-Star Weekend, we're going to have like an electric
LED
floor
or something. Yeah.
And then last night in Denver, and of course, if you watch games in Denver, you know this. That's a real old school floor. The painted area is not even painted.
Oh, really? It's actual,
the
wood is
got
that,
the lines, but I was like, I kind of like that. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's not bad because then they got the 5,280 in the paint there. Not bad. It's old school. It's
kind of refreshing.
See, now this is the get off my lawn segment of our show where Whitey's like, I hate it. How come the Kings aren't wearing purple? Why are they wearing blue? Why was their floor blue? It is old school. It's basic, old school, classic.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's
I
a nice
do like
change of pace.
Yeah. So that's the change of pace, in today's day and age.
It is.
That's the change of pace.
Wait till this weekend when they got the floor lighting up for
I can't wait to see that. I'm going to be looking at my son's iPad in Cabo watching that this weekend.
Cabo watching.
Mac McClung, baby. Oh, man.
Jerry Reynolds, all-time Kings icon, joins us next year with Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay partly cloudy through the night tonight. Overnight lows will drop down to the upper 40s. Tomorrow, look for a mixture of sun and clouds with light winds. Highs will make the low to mid 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
What's up? As always, we're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Chrysler's President's Day sale?
It's the biggest savings we've had in years on new heavy-duty Ram trucks. Right now, you can save up to $17,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 2500 Laramie Crew Cab 4x4s. And yes, I said 2024s. Plus, we have Northern California's largest selection of Ram trucks with over 500 available. So you're sure to find your new Ram truck waiting at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center.
$17,000 off MSRP on the brand new 2024s is a big deal. How'd you pull that off?
Hoblet is California's #1 Ram truck dealer and #3 in the nation, which means we have the best selection of the trucks you need at the best prices. No one has a better selection of heavy-duty Ram trucks west of the Mississippi. Plus, when you shop at Hoblet, you're not just a customer, you're family.
Hoblet Dodge, the small-town dealer with big city savings and selection. Start your search at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$17,000 total net savings after $11,379 factory rebates and $56.21 dealer discounts. Rebates may include 1,000 case construction rebate. Must have purchased eligible case equipment to qualify and 500 first responder bonus cash. Must be current member of eligible first responder association. Private net savings sample VIN 221743.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
One in four car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced. Let our professional parts people test your battery for free at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
COVID-19? I don't want to risk missing work. I booked an appointment for this season's updated COVID-19 shot designed to help protect against recent variants. Learn about a vaccine option and book your COVID-19 shot on schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart, it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. And now, during our President's Day sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add any base. Ends Monday. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Hey, it's Doug Christie here for Folsom Lake Ford. During the President's Day sell-a-thon, get 0 down deals on approval of credit, huge discounts, and top dollar for all trades. Shop your truck headquarters at folsomlakeford.com.
The all-time Kings icon. I know you talked about him last night, Drapes, on the telecast.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can name all the things he's done for the Kings. I usually come up woefully short here. Former Kings assistant coach, former Kings head coach, former Kings general manager, former Kings player personnel director, former Kings TV analyst, former Monarchs general manager who put together a championship team. Jerry Reynolds with us. Jerry, how did I do?
I think you got it all. I think you did a very solid job. I'm not sure Kyle could have done that. So, I'm glad you took over in that particular role.
Hey, Jerry, hold up now. You and I are both Chiefs fans, man. We got to stick together, We were Chiefs fans this last weekend. I mean, we should be on the same side here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were both Chiefs fans. I got you. Actually, I can't criticize you too much because I'm pretty much a bigger front runner than even you are. So that's okay.
Oh man, he's killing me.
Was there ever a time during that game, Jerry, where you thought, I don't think Patrick's going to get it done today?
Yeah, I had some doubts. I mean, I honestly thought kind of going in that the Niners were the more talented team, and certainly they were capable of winning. And I really do enjoy the Niners, but I did realize, and most defenses I thought were very good. But, and there's always a but, is that only one team had Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Did you happen to hear last night when Mr. Draper mentioned you on television?
No, I didn't.
See? Yeah, he mentioned that you were on our show and you had said that Keegan was better, improved more in his second year than Peja did. He mentioned that on the telecast.
Wow. I watched, I don't know what, might have been one of my 10 trips to the bathroom. I don't know. But yeah, well, I still believe that. And it's like, And I agree with Kyle. I was listening to you guys, and certainly lately, Keegan is a little disappointing in his play. He really kind of has gotten into a slump. But the truth is that the guy's his stats are his stats, and he's playing on a team that's actually winning at a better rate than the one Peja played on his first 2 years, and he's a better defender. And so at some point, I'm certainly not saying he's going to be better than Peja in 5 years, but at some point you got to give him credit for where he is and what he's done.
Yeah. The great Jerry Reynolds joining us. Jerry, let's talk about where the Kings stand at right now going into the All-Star break. I feel like, there's a lot of negativity from the outside surrounding this team. Fans are, they should be better. They're on the same pace that they were last season. What do you make of this season? How would you grade this season so far for the Kings?
Well, I think it's pretty much what I thought it would be. I mean, you always want more, but I looked at the schedule, and and really when you look ahead, 17 home games, 11 on the road, I think they're in position to move up. Now they've got to do it, and so they went through a pretty tough road here the first 50-some games. I think tough, more so than most teams, because most of the teams ahead of them have played more home games than they have road games. The Kings just the opposite. So I always take that into account. I'm like every other fan. The losses to Detroit and Charlotte, you can't rationalize them. I mean, I would be able to rationalize them if we're at even those teams on the road. Good teams get beat on the road all the time. The best teams, I mean, the Celtics have had a couple losses over 30 points, so it happens. But, those two are, kind of sticking my craw a little bit. But, I just think with the West being what it is, and you guys know, I mean, the West is loaded, and this year it's healthy. And that was the advantage the Kings had last year, is they truthfully, a lot of the best teams had, a lot of key guys out. And so, no, I think they're on track. I really didn't measure for a ring this year anyway. I don't know how many fans did, but I think it's a work in progress, and they're progressing.
You measured for a football ring, though, didn't you? A Super Bowl ring.
Well, I didn't even have to.
Jerry Reynolds with us. The Kings are, not to get bogged down in numbers, they're third in three-point attempts, but they're 12th in percentage. We know they like to shoot a lot of threes. How much of how well they play in the second half of the season, Jerry, depends on them just shooting the three ball better.
Well, that's a big part of the game. There's no question. I mean, just invariably when they do make threes and they take care of the ball and make the free throws, they're in a position to win. Sadly, that's the same you say about 90% of the teams in the league. But I do. I mean, this team, only thing I'd question is I think at times they spend too much time on the perimeter. They ought to play a little more inside out, in my opinion. And, the three-point shots that guys get when the ball's kicked out to them and their feet are set are just easier shots. That's all there is to it.
No, you're right about that, Jerry. Instead of on the move or trying to do it off a dribble or something like that, one guy who's been consistent really since the day he got here is Domantas Sabonis. How impressive has he been this season, and what have you seen from him?
Well, he's just a physical marvel, isn't he? Really. I mean, I've never seen a center, a big play so hard every play. I mean, his stamina is just remarkable. I've said this in the past. I've seen. I wasn't around to see the Rochester Royals play a lot, but I did see. I was a fan of the Cincinnati Royals and of course the Kansas City Kings and the Sacramento Kings. And Domas is the best center this franchise has ever had by quite a margin. And to me, that says something. And I think, sometimes we do take him for granted, but golly, the guy, he's just a warrior. And I guess, if he had triple doubles every game, maybe he'd have made the All-Star team. I don't know.
Every game, maybe. Yeah. You come on a lot for us, which we appreciate. One of the things you've mentioned from time to time is you probably would have run more plays for Harrison Barnes. The Kings actually started doing that a little bit, and what do you know? He's scoring more points. What have you made of his offensive resurgence over the last few weeks?
Well, it's been a real key, I think, and I think Harrison has a tendency, and we've talked about it, and I know Kyle knows. I mean, he has a tendency to kind of allow himself to fit into a fault, and he's a guy who can take it to the basket and overpower some guys, post up a little, and I think Coach Brown is doing a good job getting him more involved. That's all it is. I honestly think they're going to have to probably think along those lines for Keegan as well. Because Keegan liable to go over in the corner and just doze off, and sometimes you got to force guys to be involved. Make sure they've got their number called a little bit, because Fox and Monk are gonna they're gonna be fine. Yeah. You can't keep them from getting scoring opportunities. And Domas, in his own way, he just finds ways to get his 18, 20 points every night, second efforts, and hustle plays.
Yeah, Jerry, I was going to ask you about Keegan. I want to stay right there because, how much of it is on the coaches and the other players to get Keegan going, and how much of it is on Keegan to be aggressive and go out there and eat and get his own food out there on the court?
I think, it's a little of both. I think it's more on Keegan, to be honest with you. I think if you want to be, as I said, outstanding offensive players always have to be hungry. I don't think anybody had to encourage Kobe to go get a shot, and not that Keegan's going to be Kobe, but I think you have to go be aggressive and look for your attempts when you get them, and maybe create a few. And I think that's where Keegan is probably holding back a little bit here of late, because we've seen him earlier in the year really go create some shots off the dribble and good shots. He's long and the little step away jumpers and get to the basket. So he just needs to do that. And of course, I think the coaches and his teammates need to tell him a little bit sometimes. It's like, hey, if you're out here working up a sweat, go get a shot now and then.
Jerry, I got to ask you, I got to go back to something you said about Domas being the best center in the history of the franchise. Now, were you including Greg Kite, Ostertag, and I think Randy Allen actually played a little center for you? You including those guys? It took a long time to eliminate those guys, from the conversation. I think probably 15, 20 seconds is, when I really went through the list. Could you tell us the Randy Allen playing center story against the Pacers? Would you mind telling us that story?
Well, and, this, but Kyle, I remember Rick Schmitz, the 7'4" center for the Pacers. And we didn't, our center at that time was Randy Allen, and we'd picked him up in CBA, 6'8", 210 pounds. and I looked down the floor, I asked my assistant, I said, my God, nobody's guarding Schmitz. And because then all of a sudden, as I dribbled down the floor, I saw two little arms sticking out around Schmitz's waist. It looked like one of those Buddha things, and I turned to my assistant. I said, I think we're in trouble tonight. I don't know if this is going to go well.
That's awesome. Rick Smith's the Dunking Dutchman.
Dunking Dutchman, and Dunking Dutchman did some dunking that night too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Great stuff, Jerry. Jerry, we got 28 games left to go this season. When you were coaching, how did you approach post All-Star basketball? Was it did the stretch run begin after the All-Star break? Should it have begun before the All-Star break for the Kings? What do you think?
Well, I do think it's different. That's a good question. I mean, used to be post All-Star game was probably about 40-some games. It was actually middle of the season, and now it's 28 games, so it's kind of more of a stretch run. And I think for Coach Brown, I've heard him say, that you really got to come out of the gate here and get on track quick. Fortunately for the Kings, I think like I said, they have 17 home games, 11 on the road. And so just go win your home games and get some on the road, and you'll have a great finish. Simple as that. I mean, it's easy to say, of course, but that's what should happen anyway.
Coach, we appreciate your time very much. Congratulations again on the Chiefs thing. Enjoy the All-Star weekend in your home state, and we'll talk to you soon.
Well, thank you so much, guys. Enjoyed it. And, yeah, I do feel bad for Niner fans, truthfully, because they got a great team, and certainly they've got a several-year window here. But, Patrick's Patrick. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Jerry.
Okay, see you guys.
All right, Jerry.
Kings icon, the one and only Jerry Reynolds. When we come right back, if the Kings can hang on for a couple of weeks, tell you where they can make their move next year on Sactown Sports.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
When accidents turn life upside down, AutoAccident.com is in your corner. Compassionate advice, loyal support, and the courage to fight for you. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got good news. The American Energy Heat and Air $0 HVAC diagnostic has been extended to February 29th. That's right. It expired at the end of January, but want to give you all an opportunity who missed out to get in. It's a $99 value. All right, it's $100, and right now it's free. I don't know how much easier I can pitch that. Normally $100, now $0. Let the American Energy team test your system, your connections, and all the moving parts of that system to make sure it's functioning properly. And you know who's going to be coming to your home? A group of people that have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. A group of folks that have been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. $0 HVAC diagnostic. Normally a $100 value right now at American Energy Heat and Air. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com or call them to make your appointment. 916-520-9990.
Toyota's President's Day sales event ends Monday. Now is your chance to save big on Toyota's entire lineup of 16 hybrid and electrified vehicles. Don't miss out on these President's Day deals. This President's Day, get low 1.99% APR, plus an incredible $2,500 bonus cash on the all-electric 2023 BZ4X. Hurry in. Toyota's President's Day sales event ends Monday. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS Suppliers with premium rated credit and it's 3424.
God, I'm so stressed. It's a brand new year and our business is busier than ever.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure they'll get you your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
Switch to Jackson Hewitt and we'll beat what you paid last year, even if you filed online. Ain't nothing to it. Switch to Jackson Hewitt and pay less for tax prep, guaranteed.
Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through March 4th, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic and an oil filter for $36.99. Only at AutoZone.
Claim based on Sequence 3 H test versus API.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Thanks to the great Jerry Reynolds for joining us. All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. If by chance you didn't hear Jerry today, you might want to check that out, SactownSports.com. Speaking of guests, Kyle, he's not really a guest, but maybe he should be. We had Will called, and he was talking to you about where Kings fans are. Will is very popular. Steven on the text lines, he calls him Willie. What's Willie having for dinner? From the 209. Will is a Kings fan voice. Let the man speak after every game. There's somebody on the YouTube chat's like, oh, that was a great caller. So, Will, I hope you're still listening.
Will's our guy.
Very popular.
Some of his takes are off base. Sometimes they don't know what he's talking about. But you know
That's
what?
Not what the people say.
He's wildly entertaining. So I'm always down to have Will on the show, man. Great caller.
Yeah,
great caller.
We appreciate everybody participating and listening. As you well know, because this is your life, you look at the schedule coming up here, and we hear a lot about how the Kings have the fifth toughest remaining schedule.
It is now 8th after last night's game.
Okay, thank you. If they can hang on here, well, from March the 7th through April the 2nd, the Kings will play 11 of 14 games at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
March 7th.
Including 2 with Dallas. It's a back-to-back. They're not on back-to-back nights, but 2 games in a row against Dallas, March 26th and March 29th. So, the Kings have had, to Jerry's point, a lot of road games, and then it evens out here in the month of March. They'll be home for an extended period.
Yeah, and I looked at the Western Conference, and the Sacramento Kings have played 24 home games. That's tied for fewest with the Minnesota Timberwolves, who also have played 24 home games. And also there was one other team, that's about it, I think. So they've played the fewest home games out of any team in the Western Conference, I believe, if my math is correct. And so I think there's a chance to make up some ground. Now, the schedule is tough. We understand that. I mean, the actual teams that you play are going to be difficult, but you take care of home court. I think you got 17 home games, 11 road games left. I'm looking at this stretch here beginning March 4th, where you got Chicago, you're at LA, the Lakers. All right. San Antonio and Houston, that 4-game stretch. I like a 4-0 stretch right there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Memphis, Toronto, Washington, Orlando, Philadelphia. I'm looking at March 18th to March 25th. Sixers without Joel Embiid, probably. That's a chance to bank some wins, get some wins as well. And so, yes, the schedule is difficult, but you also got to remember the schedule is difficult, but Philly doesn't have Embiid, so it's a little easier.
Yeah,
there's some injuries. Right.
It's like,
and I will say, when I look at the remaining strength of schedule, the Phoenix Suns have the toughest schedule ahead. That number. So that's a team you're vying for in the top 6 spot. The Clippers have the 7th most difficult schedule. That's a team ahead of you. Even the Pelicans, I think, are just separated by 1 game in terms of the differential, the difficulty of the schedule. And so, yes, you have a difficult schedule, but I don't know if it calculates. I don't think it calculates that you have all those home games too. It's just the strength of the opponents.
Right.
And so
yeah,
the Kings can make up some ground here.
It's not that significant.
You don't like
number.
that. You don't.
Well,
like that.
It's interesting, but I think it's easy to go, oh man, 5th toughest. Well, they're doomed.
They're done. Right. Right.
Yeah. The discouraging thing about that, if there is one, is that the Kings, let's face it, they haven't played as well at home as we know they can. Haven't played as well at home as they declared they would this year.
Yeah, and they started out really strong at home too. And the first month of the season, they were really good. But since then, some of the losses, Pelicans was a bad loss, Detroit, Charlotte, those kind of things, 15-9, 6 games above 500 at home. The fact that you're 2 games above 500 on the road, I'm okay with that.
Yep.
That's encouraging.
Oh, that's
you know?
great.
That's really good. Now you need to up that home in. I'm hoping March will be a better home month for you.
Yeah, you just look at the top teams in the West. Minnesota at home, 19-5. OKC 21-6.
Right.
Clippers 20-6. Nuggets 21-5. Of course, you helped. You tacked one of those on last night. But Kings definitely could stand to play stronger at home the rest of the way, and then they are in position to make. I don't know if a move is overstating it, but to move up the standings, certainly.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I do think the top four are pretty set. I think, you know, Minnesota, OKC, Clippers, and Nuggets, I don't think those teams are going to fall off a cliff. So basically, you're looking at Phoenix, New Orleans, Dallas, and Sacramento. I'm not going to include the Lakers, for the final two actual playoff spots, 5 and 6. Phoenix, I just mentioned, has the toughest schedule the rest of the way out of anybody in the entire association. And so it's going to be tough for them. Sure, they can overcome that. They can win. They're a great team, great players. But, you know, New Orleans right there with Sacramento. Dallas is a team, you know, that scares me right now. They're playing extremely well. 6 straight. I know you don't like it.
I don't like them.
But the moves they made seems to
it.
have injected some energy in them. Our boy Daniel Gafford is playing phenomenal right now. Kyrie's back playing well. Lucas, you know, and so they got a nice little team.
Yeah.
You know,
so those two games against Dallas here.
Yeah, you got it back to like 2 in a row.
29th of March. Those could be huge.
Massive games. And, you know, obviously when you look at the Kings schedule, every game is tough. It's the Western Conference, but there are some late games. You mentioned the Dallas games. You know, when you look at it also, you wrap up, you got a game against Phoenix on April 12th. You got April 11th, the New Orleans Pelicans. Right before that, OKC.
Yeah.
So you got some games that are going to be critical. You know, it's interesting. Mike Brown was asked about it yesterday in his pregame press conference, just about, you know, or it might have even been postgame the other night, about, you know, where the team stands right now and how, you know, they had the luxury where they knew they were going to be over the final 4 or 5 games. They knew they were locked into the 3 spot. This year, they got to play to the final whistle, like to the very last game.
You would think.
I think it's going to come down to that.
Yeah, because after those Mavericks games we talked about, after that, there's 9 games left. So you're home to Utah, then you're home to the Clippers, then you're out on the road at the Knicks, at the Celtics, at the Nets, at the OKC.
Those are
Thunder.
all wins, Whitey.
All of those? And then, yeah, this is the guy who was so mad when the Kings lost at home to the Celtics.
Oh, it was a bad day for Kyle, yes.
Yeah, then they come home, and as you mentioned, the Pelicans. Kings have had some issues with the Pelicans to this point. And then the Suns, and then you wrap up the season against the Blazers. So, let me ask you a question that earlier, this was off the air, Jay asked us. You talked about the top 4 you think they're set. I know my answer to this, but he asked, do you guys think Minnesota can stay there and at or near the top spot? If so, why?
I think so. I think when you look at Minnesota and what they've been able to accomplish, they're top 5 in defense. I think they're number 1 in defense. Like, in defense travels, as you know. And what they did to, what was it, Milwaukee the other day? Like, they just manhandled them the other day. Oh, it was the Clippers, excuse me. They beat the Clippers and the Bucks 2 straight games, and the games weren't even close. They blew out. That's a heck of a stretch right there. They won 3 in a row. I think they're on a mission, man. I think what happened last season with Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert and our narrative regarding them, I think that has fueled them. They got a great bench. Nas Reed, our boy, coming off the bench. They're deep. A guy we want
to.
Like, when you look at the Western Conference, who else? You're not putting OKC ahead of them. So Minnesota is, to me, one of the top 3 teams in the Western Conference. Denver's going to be there, Clippers. But after that, Minnesota. So why not them?
Yeah, I agree with you. And the number 1 reason is because they defend. I didn't anticipate them being the number 1 team. I don't know about you. I'm taken by surprise by how well they've played this year, but it's not a fluke. That's a really, really solid team, and they're very well coached. Coach Finch has done a really good job under some, less than ideal circumstances.
Yeah, a heck of a job. And, you know, and I also think when it comes to playoffs, it's matchups. Like, let's say Minnesota draws Denver in the second round. That 1-4 matchup, that might be tough. But if they draw OKC in a 2-3 matchup, I would pick them over OKC. And so I think Denver is a legit Western Conference finalist.
Didn't Minnesota play Denver last year in the first round after Minnesota got out of the play?
Yeah, they pushed them.
They had no chance.
Yeah.
And it's like night and day right now.
It's night and day. It's a different team right now. Anthony Edwards, his confidence. Karl Anthony Towns seems to have found his rhythm. The all-star Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert is playing, as great as he's ever played. And so, no, they're a scary team.
Mm-hmm. When we come back, did the Kings make franchise history last night? Next year, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sactown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into three. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Honeylicious taste, so a cold won't slow you down.
It was 1879 when the first President's Day was established, and it's been a holiday ever since. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. I'm guessing when the Keys family opened the first Naturewood Home Furnishing store in 1948, a President's Day sale was not top of the mind. But the family probably celebrated the holiday with a picnic and a big slice of cherry pie. The store name Naturewood was selected to reflect the quality of the wood furniture for sale. And that focus on quality continues today with brands like FlexSteel, Trailway, Stickley, Fusion Designs, Stanton, and many, many more. The Naturewood Home Furnishings President's Day sale is the perfect time for you to find the right accent piece for your living room, a new bed for your bedroom, or to completely refurnish your entire home. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's President's Day sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
At Ashton & Price over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
If you're looking to move out of your parents' place, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive, which is good because your little brother has gotten really territorial. You're blood related. You'd think it would be fine to share food in the fridge. I mean, who writes their name on every individually wrapped slice of cheese, Tyler? Still, you've got to admire the commitment. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and use the savings to help you move out and have all the cheese you want. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Hey, it's Doug Christie here for Folsom Lake Ford. During the President's Day Sell-a-thon, get $0 down deals on approval of credit, huge discounts, and top dollar for all trades. Shop your truck headquarters at FolsomLakeFord.com.
No fees on all Kings tickets happening now. You can experience Sacramento Kings basketball live with no fees on all remaining games. Watch as the Kings take on the top teams in both conferences, including big matchups against the Bucks, Lakers, Knicks, Clippers, and more. Score big on tickets and cheer on the Beam team as they make a push for the playoffs. Don't miss out. This limited time offer is only valid until February 20th. Visit kings.com/no fees to take advantage of this deal today.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
I have a confession to make. After the trade deadline came and went, we saw a list of some of the names that might have been available on the buyout market. I was hoping against hope. Didn't see how this would happen, but I was hoping against hope, Drapes, that the Kings would acquire a particular player. My dream has died today because agreeing to sign with the Bucks for the rest of the season is Danilo Gallinari. I know the Kings were never considered. He apparently had his choice of the Bucks or I'd read
Clippers,
he had his
right?
Bucks or the Clippers.
Yeah.
He's going back to the Bucks.
Breaks
Not
your heart.
back to the Bucks. He's going to the Bucks.
Breaks your heart.
A little bit.
Why'd
Yeah.
you want Gallinari? What's so
Because
special about
it was a couple years ago now. It's been like 3 years, but he was really like hyper efficient. I think it's when he was still with the Clippers, so it was a while
Mhm.
ago.
Mhm.
You know, he was his efficiency was underrated. He was a great shooter, good rebound, did a little bit of everything, and now he's hurt, so he's not the same player. But I was just hoping that that the Kings would have done something. Now they got to hope for improvement from within.
Yeah, for now. Remember, my boy Marcus Morris Sr. is still quite possibly an option, and I would love, as much as you like Gallinari, I like Marcus Morris. You know, I would love to see Marcus Morris here. And, you know, what frustrates me, though, and I get it, when guys are bought out and free agents, you want to go to a winning team, play for a title. It seems like all the same teams are always Lakers, Clippers, you know, Bucks, Celtics. They're always like in the running for the best players, you know, in the buyout market.
You're still mad about Dinwiddie going to the Lakers, aren't you?
You know what's crazy about that, Whitey? It's like one day he gets released. The next day he's at the Lakers game sitting next to Rob Pelinka. And I'm like, what? How did this even happen? Like, I didn't even know that this was going to be a thing. And I do like Dinwiddie. I don't know if he would have been, you know, a fit here because I think him and Malik are sort of the same. But he's a bucket getter, man. And I think he's going to help that Lakers team.
Yeah. You know, we're not playing on an even playing field. We know that. And then there's also this perception in the NBA that some teams get the benefit of more calls. And it appears it's not just fans that think that, because we saw last night Ty Lue went ballistic and his team came back and beat the Warriors.
Yeah.
But it sounds like he was saying, you know, that the Warriors were getting the benefit of the whistle.
Yeah, and he had some colorful language
very colorful and strong
afterwards.
language.
And my question is, how much is he going to get fined for that? Like, that's a massive fine. He basically accused the refs of cheating.
That's it.
You know, he
That's it.
basically
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, and this is from, you know, a former player, a coach, somebody's in the league right now. That's pretty damning for the league, if you ask me. Like,
Yeah.
that's so I think Adam Silver and company, they're going to come down hard on Ty Lue.
Did you hear the audio post game when he said he was shouting? We may have it somewhere.
Yes.
It was reported. I read that he said, "Where's referee James?" I read that he said, "I want to kick him in the mouth," but I think he said, "I want to kiss him."
Oh, really?
I think
we may have to break the tape down.
Yeah,
Man. We may
I
have
know
to
they
break
did that
it
in
down.
Styles and Watkins, and that's the first time I'd heard it. And I think he said kiss him. And I think he's making a joke like, "Where's my buddy? I want to kiss him." You know, that's what I think.
When I heard it, I thought it was kick.
Oh, you heard it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did hear it, but I didn't, you know, dissect it and listen to it 4 or 5 times. But either way,
yeah,
you know, it's a.
He was definitely angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a smart guy, and I have a hard time imagining that Ty Lue would lose his composure to the extent that he'd say, "Where's the referee? I want to kick him in the mouth." Maybe he did.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense though, right? Kiss him in the mouth makes, you know, it's
to me a little more like,
little
oh
more.
yeah,
right.
eye roll.
Yeah. And Johnny on the YouTube chat, refs cheat. Come on, Johnny, give me a little more. Give me some examples. Give me a little more depth behind it than that. But that's a bad look for a head coach of a premier franchise, a title contender, to basically come out and say, where are the cheating, cheating refs, he basically said.
So, of course, fans are going to think that, and that's all the league can do is 2-minute report. That's we're saying. As weak as that is, it's about all they can do in an attempt to try to show everyone, no, it's all legit. It's all transparent.
Yeah. And like I said yesterday, the 2-minute report to me has run its course.
Oh yeah,
it's like,
it was a short course.
It was
that
short
didn't
course.
Take long.
Like, yeah, I get it. You're trying to show some transparency, but you still get it wrong, and you're covering up your own mistakes and everything, and it just makes people even more angry. Like Mike Brown talked about it before the game yesterday, and he was very diplomatic about it. Obviously disagreeing, but it just makes you wonder. We all saw it. And I think, the problem the NBA has is back in the 80s, we didn't have all these replays.
Right.
Now it seems like every controversial call is broken down frame by frame. We got closet referees sitting at home on their couch making the call, and it doesn't do the NBA any favors. And I think it's just a harder job right now.
Mm-hmm. I think I told you the story. Officials they have the power to determine which way the game is going. And forgive me if I told you this before. This is a guy that was an official in the NBA back when they had only 2 referees, and there's a game going on, and it was an San Diego Clippers game, so it tells you how long ago it was. And the guy that I know, he had some stomach issues, and he had to leave the court, and he had to get some medical attention. And the game was pretty one-sided. He comes back. He was treated. He was fine. He comes back, and his partner, I think, was like, I shouldn't. I think it was Daryl Garrettson. I don't know. His partner says, "Hey, I tightened up the game for you." And he looks up, and it's like, ooh, yeah, they can do that.
They can do that.
Yeah. All right. Here's Ty Lue last night. Does he say, "I want to kick the referee or kiss the referee"?
Where's James at? The referee, I want to kiss him in the mouth.
Oh, that's kiss. I heard kiss him in the mouth.
See, I didn't see
that's what I heard. Yeah, that time I heard kiss him in the mouth.
Where's James at? The referee, I want to kiss him in the mouth.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jay?
Kiss him in the mouth.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It was reported as
smooches.
Yeah. All right. Term of endearment.
Right.
It's just, yeah.
Oh, he's my buddy. I want to kiss him.
Where's James at? The referee, I want to kiss him in the mouth.
Boy, there it is right there. Yep. There it is. Oh, man. I tell you what, that was a big win for the Clippers. No Kawhi, Paul George fouling out.
Yeah, and they were at that point, they were down, I think, 11 in the fourth quarter.
Yes, massive loss for the Golden State Warriors, who just looked, I know they were on a little bit of winning streak. I think 5 in a row, something like that.
Right.
But some of their old wounds resurfaced. Klay Thompson, making a boneheaded play down the stretch in the
about as bad of a foul
as you can see.
Yeah.
You're down 3 with 30-something seconds left. Just play defense.
Yeah.
Get the miss and then go down, tie it up. And, this is why I don't think the Warriors are a threat to the Kings in terms of their play-in position or playoff position. The Warriors have beat up on a lot of shorthanded and bad teams. And I'm starting to see Draymond get back sort of to the old Draymond a little bit. He had a good 2 or 3 week stretch where he was on his best behavior. But against Phoenix the other night, he picked up a technical. You see all his jawing and everything he was doing last night as well.
Suspension saved their season. That's what Draymond explained to us.
They should have kept him out then. Like, they might win a championship then.
What did you think of the play last night where he got knocked down and it didn't look like he got hit that hard by, I think it was Zubac's elbow.
Yeah.
And he was I've never seen it before. He was on the floor for like 2 or 3 minutes.
And
they're just playing around him.
The best part about it was none of his teammates came over to,
it's like, they'll call a timeout.
No, we just playing. It's like they're used to his antics and his theatrics. And so I thought that was awesome. I mean, it was literally a couple of trips down the floor.
Yeah.
And then some guy on Twitter, sort of narrated it. That's how I saw it. He's like, and look at Draymond. He's still down. Let Clippers go down to score. Warriors score. Clippers score. It's just too much, man. And did you see what Nurkic said? I know
they've been going back
yeah,
and forth.
they've been going back and forth. He tweeted something. He he put like a meme and he said, "Man, dude's getting soft these days," or something like that. It was awesome.
They
man.
took him off.
I love it. I love it.
And then he came back, and I think he was fine after that.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Paul Pierce in the wheelchair. He was fine.
The Kings I'm still working on definitively whether we can say this or not. The Kings may have made a little bit of franchise history last night. I know I talked about this earlier.
Yeah, you still working on that?
I haven't found any other Kings team that's done it. I think this may be the first time a Kings team, Sacramento Kings team, has ever beaten the defending champs 3 times in one season. That's a little, wonky because like they only played teams from the East twice a year. Anyway,
Right. So it can't be an Eastern Conference team.
Yeah. So for what that's worth,
this team continues to make history.
There you go. There you go. It was a weird performance by the Nuggets last night.
It really was because, they were in the game. They had the lead. And I never thought Jokic really got going in that game. This is an all-world player, one of the all-time greats. And he was a glorified role player yesterday. And, I thought they collapsed big time in that second half. And, Joker couldn't will his way to a win, and it was interesting. I don't know if you saw this as they're starting the game, Jokic wasn't looking to score. Like, even when he had an open look, he was looking. And so I don't know if he was trying to take a night off or not impose his will, not dominate or whatever. But it was a weird game, I thought, by him last night.
Mm-hmm. And one thing we decided earlier in the show is that no one is allowed around here to refer to Sabonis anymore as Jokic Light. Right?
Yeah.
You can't do it anymore.
It's disrespectful.
Yes.
When we first started saying that, it was a term of endearment. It was a compliment. Not anymore. Domas is his own guy. Like, Şengün is Domas Light.
Yes,
you know what
there
I
you
mean?
go.
Like, people are trying to be like Domantas Sabonis. And so you're right. We can't call him Jokic Light anymore.
Would you draft Bronny if it gave you a shot at his daddy? That's next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Get ready for an exciting drive in the 2024 Kia Forte GT line, now at Elk Grove Kia for just $19,988. Experience efficiency with an impressive 39 mpg, smooth rides with automatic transmission, and stay on track with a lane departure warning system for only $19,988. Enjoy modern conveniences with its huge 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation and a rear camera, Bluetooth wireless technology, and the ease of push-button start for only $19,988. Or lease this incredible ride with no cash out of pocket for only $279 per month plus tax. You heard right. No money down and only $279 plus tax. Elk Grove Kia, where driving dreams come true. Visit us today in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovekia.com.
Sale price $20,738. Dealer choice rebate $750. Net price $19,988. Must finance through Kia Finance 5 at this price 24 months with zero cash down. Residual of $63,950 based on 10K per year, 20 cents a month over reserve security deposit. Kia Tier 1 approval required. Expires 2/15/2024.
Elk Grove Kia.
Yesterday, we found out that the Warriors had come a knocking at the Lakers' front door and asked about, hey, you want to trade us LeBron? The way the story goes is Jeannie Buss says, I don't know. You have to talk to his agent. So apparently LeBron let it be known that he had no interest in leaving the Lakers. And then it had to be leaked by LeBron and or the Lakers, right? The fact that we even know this happened.
Yeah, no reason for the Warriors
because
to
they're
leak that,
actually
right?
maybe dealing with fallout from it.
Right.
So
it wouldn't be them.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody from the Lakers or LeBron's camp. Yeah, for sure.
So now, Bronny, LeBron James' son,
yes,
he has been his first year with USC. He hadn't really played very well, and he's recovering from serious offseason health scare.
Yeah.
But he hasn't really had a breakout season or anything. But according to The Athletic, quote, the Lakers, per a high-ranking team source, are also willing to explore the notion of adding Bronny James next season. This stance, the source said, is rooted in the reality that James' happiness truly matters to the organization, end quote. And I think LeBron has, a $51 million option, and he doesn't have to opt in until after the draft.
Yeah.
So he could wait and see what happens with Bronny.
Yeah.
And that could, so the Lakers may be in position where, well, if we want to keep LeBron, we got to draft Bronny. But if you're another team and you know that's the situation, do you then
would you
draft
do it?
him? Thinking at the very least, the Lakers will have to trade us something for him.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's crazy at this stage of LeBron's career.
I guess I could see.
I don't know if
Lakers
Sacramento. I don't think the Kings would. It doesn't make sense. But let's say the Sixers. If you can pair him with Joel Embiid and Maxey, I would do it if I was Philly. Because your goal is to win a championship. That's been your biggest knock.
So you would draft Bronny, hoping that then LeBron would.
Yes. If I was Philadelphia, I would do that. What about the Knicks? Would the Knicks do something like that?
You know what I was reading about that, and you probably have heard some things about this that I'm not privy to, but what I was reading was that when LeBron posted the hourglass, some people, and then there was also some social media with him. He had like a Knicks towel
on, and
it looked like maybe he was trying to gauge whether the Knicks had any interest. And apparently, right now they do not.
Really?
Yeah, they like the direction in which they're headed, going, and they're not worried about LeBron.
Now I feel like, well, I guess you got OG there, Julius Randle.
No, but it's freaking LeBron.
It's LeBron, right? For a chance at a chip. That's why I think Philly should do that. Like, I think LeBron, Embiid, and Maxey, that would be huge for them. I would definitely do that because you're talking a second-round pick. It's not like you giving a first-round pick or anything like that. Guaranteed contract. Have them for a year, two-way deal or something like that. What's interesting about that is, when you look at LeBron and what he can accomplish at this age, I think it would have to be a ready-made contender. Like if I'm Detroit, it would get some buzz, make things, exciting for you. But I don't think adding LeBron to Detroit makes you a contender all of a sudden. So that wouldn't matter to me.
This is a little different. It's actually a lot different, but it reminds me of the 96 draft. That was a Kobe draft where Kobe, we knew he wanted to go to the Lakers.
Yep.
And the Kings had the next pick. Kobe was drafted by Charlotte, traded to the Lakers. Yep. And Jerry has told me that, we would have drafted him. We would
really?
Yeah.
They would have drafted Kobe.
Yeah. I said, yeah. We would have taken him
and kept him and forced him to.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe he forces your arm and makes it clear, you can't keep him, but you get something out of it.
Yeah. I would definitely would. Even if you draft him, the trade chip that you created, the value you could get. You talk about this Bronny LeBron thing. Look at Thanasis and Giannis in Milwaukee. Like, I don't know how good of a player Thanasis is. Right now, he's just sort of a punchline. But I got to imagine, because he's Giannis' brother, that's helping him out. And, you want Giannis to be happy, so you employ his brother.
Doesn't he have two other brothers, too, that have played?
Yeah. Yes. Costas. Yeah, and Alex, I think the other was.
Costas was the first one to win a championship with the Lakers, wasn't he?
He was the older one. Yep. He was the older one. Exactly. So he's had four brothers come through the league, And Thanasis, like I said, I mean, you can Google his name up on social media or anything. It's like a blooper video of him. Like, he's that kind of funny dude. Like, yeah, so, and for some reason they keep him on the squad.
I know some people were having fun with the Robin Lopez move, and they said, "Uh-oh, that's bad news for Thanasis if they're moving Brooks' brother."
Brooks' brother.
If I'm the Lakers and I have reason to think that all I need to do to keep LeBron is draft Bronny, I think I'm doing it. And then even if I don't, my scouts say he's nothing special, but maybe he will be. I'm not saying that I expect anything from him, maybe I could send him to the G League, right? You'd have to go to LeBron. LeBron, what can we do with your kid?
Right.
Do you have to play with him?
Right.
This year,
Does he
or what
actually have to see the
floor?
floor? But if you're the Lakers, and let me ask you this. At this age, LeBron is 39. How much power does he still wield? Like, can he call his shots? Is he worth all of that right now?
I think he can with the Lakers because if he leaves, what do they have?
What do they have? Right.
You agree? I mean, now with that team, it's like they're still built around him.
Yeah. We need to get our boy Kendrick Perkins on the phone here because he had a very interesting quote he had on the Pat McAfee show. He said the Lakers should stand pat because his sources tell him that a big name star is looking to go to LA this offseason. And he said, I can't tell you who it is, but I heard a big name star is looking to go to Los Angeles.
I've heard Trae Young.
Trae Young, yeah.
Who else? Another guard. Well, they're still talking somehow that they might work something out for Kyrie, but I think he's still under contract for a while, isn't he?
Yeah. I don't know why Dallas would do that. What could they get back in return? But could a Trae Young in Los Angeles work? I don't know how they would pull it off. What assets they do have 3 first-rounders they can trade, right? This offseason. And so maybe a team looking to rebuild or hit the reset button, maybe that's an option for them.
Yeah, it looks like that's their next move. Who knows?
Right.
The best moves are ones that no one knows about.
Right.
But it looks like their next thing is getting a guard. That's what LeBron wanted when they got Westbrook. And that he wasn't Westbrook anymore.
Yeah.
But it looks like LeBron, the plan is we'll keep him happy. Bring in, Trae Young, DeJounte Murray after the season. I don't know. Somebody like that. But it's tough when, as old as LeBron is and you keep this veteran team and you get older and older and older and older.
Yeah. You know what, Dwighty? It just dawned on me, and it's something I was thinking about earlier as I shift the topic just a little bit. I'm watching ESPN's NBA Today, and I think I might have to start boycotting that show. I might not watch that show
Welcome
anymore.
to the party.
Yeah.
It is a Lakers infomercial. They talk about the Lakers and Warriors every single darn day.
Mm-hmm.
No mention of the Kings, at least I didn't see it, the big win over Denver. Now, if the Lakers had beat Denver, what would the topic have been today? Are the Lakers back?
Right.
Could they challenge for the championship?
It shouldn't be called NBA Today. It should be Lakers and Warriors Today.
Yes, it is so frustrating to me. And I understand that the Lakers moved the needle, but all week long it's just been like the Steph Curry, LeBron pairing up. They're still talking about that. It's just, there are 28, 29 other teams in the league, and the Kings had a good win last night over Denver, if you will. Michael Malone and Jokic got a technical, so there was some spice. The Kings rallied. De'Aaron Fox went off in the fourth. So there's reasons to talk about that game last night, and it was a Lakers infomercial.
Yeah. Remember, I was telling you the trade deadline was after the deadline ended, and they spent 10 minutes talking about Lakers didn't do anything.
Right.
Can they still contend?
It's 10
minutes.
I know how these things operate. We've been in meetings, show meetings. You sit around and you think, all right, what will get the most traction among the viewers? What are the viewers most interested in? And the problem, and I get if the Orlando Magic win, they're not going to talk about that. But how do teams like the Kings, the Magic, whoever it may be, the Rockets, how do they get to that level of coverage if you're not giving them that? Like, you got,
they don't, and and the networks don't care.
And maybe that's why it's a bonus, isn't an all-star.
Yeah,
or Fox isn't an all-star. Because they're not getting the national love that they should get.
I know a guy he was on TV a lot on ESPN, and he was a writer, basketball writer, and I don't think he's currently there, but he was telling us one time that he had a meeting. This would have been maybe 5 years ago, so it's a little bit of a while ago. But he said they had an ESPN meeting with all the basketball people, and they're told, all right, here's the number one story. This is what the country cares about. LeBron James, number one, no question. Yep. That's the number one story. Then we got a gap. 2, Steph Curry. Number 2, there's a gap, but that's number 2. Then we got another gap, big gap, everything else.
Yes.
So this is what we talk about. That's like the network's mandate.
Yes, it is. And, that's the thing about LeBron James. Love him or hate him, you have an opinion. Like, you're interested. And I'm watching, I was thinking, and I've always said this, LeBron James has made so many people so much money like people owe their careers, and I'm talking media members.
Absolutely.
Look at your boy Brian Windhorst.
Oof.
Windhorst wouldn't be, we wouldn't know who he is without LeBron James. My boy Chris Haynes, who I love to death, he had a shot in Portland, was doing a great job. What was his second job after that? He went to Cleveland. Covered LeBron, and then blew up. I'm looking at, I'm drawing a blank on the woman, she's the Lakers studio host. Last night, Allie, she got to do the
play-by-play,
because the other guy was out.
McDonald, right?
Yeah, it was out. Well, she got her start in Cleveland when LeBron was there, and then when LeBron went to the Lakers, she got hired as the Lakers studio host. LeBron has put so much money in so many people's pockets.
Remember Ahmad Rashad?
Yes, Michael Jordan, right?
Yes,
Michael Jordan's best bud, and wrote his career. I mean, we could look at Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah,
like it's good.
That's a lot of them.
You know what I mean? That's how it is.
That there was an friend of the show, Bill Ryder, who's at CBS. He's another LeBron whisperer who I remember he was writing in Kansas City at the point in time for the KC Star.
Yeah,
and LeBron went down to Miami. And no one wanted the beat, and no one wanted to move from Kansas City to Miami at the time.
Yeah.
And he took it. He wound up taking it, and look, it blew him up to national stardom at Fox and CBS now, become a NBA insider. And I remember him telling me that it was the best thing I ever did. They sit me down. I stayed at one of the hotels for the season, and I became cool with LeBron's camp. And next thing you know, like I'm getting hired by Fox. So you're spot on, Drapes, 100%.
Yeah. So is it the league's job or the network's job to try to make fans care about the rest of the league? It's next year with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike with the left hand. The Kings lead by 3.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Sacramento County Voter Registration and Elections.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay partly cloudy through the night tonight. Overnight lows will drop down to the upper 40s. Tomorrow, look for a mixture of sun and clouds with light winds. Highs will make the low to mid 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
The presidential primary election is March 5th. All registered voters will receive their party-specific ballot in the mail. Check to make sure you're registered correctly at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019.
Welcome to the President's Day sale, happening now at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Celebrate with us and get huge savings on our giant selection. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company. Sold on report.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Coors Light, Garner Roofing, and Roseville Kitchen and Bath.
Hey, California. Sellathon means big savings. Sellathon means great selection. Sellathon means 5 days to save. So visit your California Ford dealer now through President's Day and get great offers on the most popular Ford trucks and SUVs. Like the built Ford Tough F-150, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 47 years and counting. Or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors. And the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. It's the Ford President's Day Sellathon. And that means now is the best time to get behind the wheel of your brand new Ford truck or SUV and drive it home today. But hurry, these offers absolutely end February 19th. So go to your California Ford dealer today. Based on 1977 to 2023 calendar year total sales.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Going to miss basketball for a little bit here as we have the All-Star break. We have the All-Star weekend, and Kyle Draper's going to be Cabo watching the All-Star weekend. Yep. One of your guys is going to be one of the judges in the dunk contest.
Who?
Well, your guy.
There's a couple of guys.
I got a couple. I mean, Dominique.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Mitch Richmond's my guy, too.
Yes.
He's
he's also a judge somehow. Here's the judges for All-Star Saturday night, the slam dunk. Gary Payton.
GP.
Okay.
Friend of the show.
Yep, we had him on before.
Mitch Richmond.
Friend of the show.
On the show.
Dominique Wilkins.
We need to make him a friend of the show.
That'll happen. That'll happen.
Friend of Kyle Draper.
Yeah, I'll get
the show.
Just tell me the date. I'll get that.
His guy.
Fred Jones.
Oh, Fred Jones from Oregon.
Yeah,
remember
him? Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this guy. This guy goes way back. Man. He's a former Pacer. Darnell Hillman.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
ABA dunking fiend who I think might have gone to San Jose State. But, yeah, that's Gary Payton, Mitch Richmond, Dominique Wilkins, Fred Jones.
Fred Jones is a former Pacer. That's why, right?
Oh, that's why. Yeah,
former
you're right.
Pacer.
You're right. Indiana ties. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yep. And I don't care about the Curry Ionescu thing. Should I? I just don't care.
You're a hater, Whitey. I see how it is.
No, that's why I'm asking, because I am a supporter of women's basketball. I thought the whole way they announced it, where supposedly Steph was mic'd and he was going to Pajemski, hey, do you know who the 3-point record holder is? Oh, you're right.
Oh, it was so staged, right? Yeah. It was awful.
I'm thinking of challenging her to a 3-point contest.
He's a shooter, not an actor.
Right. So you tell me, should I care?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't care.
What?
I'm not going to. You care?
Drapes, of all the people.
Dude,
you don't care about the entertainment that Steph and Ionescu is going to give you?
It's people shooting a basketball. That doesn't entertain me.
So you guys aren't into the 3-point contest?
I am. It's my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. But this thing is, are they going to shoot from the same distance? Are they going to shoot with the same ball?
Yes, they have to.
They're going to have the same ball?
You know,
that's a huge disadvantage.
That's a good question. Yeah, that's I think
an exhibition at its finest, fellas.
At first, they were going to shoot at different lines, but then Ionescu said, "Nope, I'm shooting from where Steph's shooting." Yeah,
good for her.
And so, I mean, it'll be okay, but I'm not setting the alarm while I'm on the beach in Cabo having a Virgin Mai Tai. He's going to be. When is that? Is that Friday? Saturday? It's Saturday.
All Star Saturday night.
All Star Saturday night. Okay. No, I'm not. I'm not.
I'm surprised by both of you,
really,
because both of you guys are normally into that type of like exhibitionist stuff.
I like
when it comes to sports.
I like the dunk on every year. It's like, Saturday Night Live. Every year people say it's terrible. It's not what it used to be, and then you watch anyway. I love the dunk contest. I like the 3-point contest. Don't like the skills competition thing, but
I don't like the game. Do you like the game? The game is just
the game is ridiculous. It's an insult.
I predict a comeback for the game this year. I think the game will be competitive this year. I think the players, heard all the boos and heard all the criticism about last year's game. I think LeBron, Steph, those guys, they'll get everybody in a competitive state.
Do you remember about 3 years ago when they had that Elam ending?
Yes.
And they actually were trying?
Yep.
Yeah.
You like that?
Well, it worked. And, I mean, you had, was it like Giannis and he was guarding LeBron?
Yeah.
And because it wasn't timed, it was you have to be the first team to get a certain number of points. They actually tried. I don't know why they've gone away from that. But I hope you're right. But honestly, I can't see how you will be. I mean, I hope you are.
You know what, though? And this is something I thought about, guys. When you look at All-Star Weekend, and this is, Pro Bowl, you can name whatever. Is it really for us? Like, how we, when we were growing up, it used to be so great. I look at somebody like my son who's 14. He is stoked. He's excited. He's ready for All-Star Weekend. And so is it more for the kids, the teenage, like the younger NBA fans, and not necessarily grown men like us?
I think that's a great question because supposedly the first All-Star game was, the baseball All-Star game in 1933. And it was supposed to be, a sports writer put it together, and it's supposed to be, this is a great exhibition for the fans.
Right.
This is for the fans.
Yeah.
Now, you've been around All-Stars.
Yeah.
If you were there last year.
Yeah.
It's for the All-Stars.
Yeah.
And corporations.
It really is.
And if your son loves it or any fans love it, that's good. Whatever makes you happy. But it's just, it's not really for us.
And a guy, one of my buddies texted me, and he lives out in northern Kentucky by Indiana. And he had texted me asking me if I was going to All-Star Weekend this year. I said, no, I'm skipping it this year. He said, it costs too much. So he wants to go. He wants to take his son, but the regular fan can't afford it. It's hard to get in.
Let me ask you guys a question. Drape said, Whitey, maybe you guys remember this. Remember, you talked about Chris Haynes. Remember, I'm going to call it 5 years ago. I can't really remember, but he had an all-star like media game where he had his constituents like writers and analysts and stuff, and they did a game. Do you guys remember that?
I don't remember that.
And I remember it being sponsored by Metro. PCS was everywhere. So they sponsored it, right? Would you guys ever compete in something like that?
Heck yeah.
If Drapes is
right.
playing, I'm riding with Drapes.
Okay.
Yeah, the big fella.
Right, exactly.
And I asked that because you say the game's coming back. There's got to be something that we start to pump back, pump some blood back into some of these all-star games. If we go rock and jock, or I don't know what we're going to do, the 40-point shot, the 20-foot hoop. I don't know what we can do, but
Doritos 4-point shot.
right. But let me ask you,
it's got to be something.
Yeah. But as I look back on All-Star Weekend, when I was growing up, my dad wasn't into it. He wasn't excited about it.
My dad loved the baseball, so
Really?
My dad
loved the baseball one, huh?
Yeah.
But basketball, my dad, he watched it with me, but it wasn't like appointment viewing for him.
Mm-hmm. I think they're obsolete now because you go back to the first All-Star game, you had separate leagues. It's like, these are all the All-Stars together. You never see this.
Yeah.
And now with free agency,
guys,
it happens all the time.
Teammates now, all
you
the
have
time.
like All-Star games that are real games on TV all the time.
Yeah, and these guys, there's no real rivalries anymore. They're buddy. Back in the day, like you said, you used to want to see Magic go against Bird, Magic and Michael teaming up with Isaiah. How would they interact? Now, these guys, they're too buddy, and we see them go against each other all the time. They're teammates a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I complain, wham, but I'll watch. Might not watch the game, but I probably, if I have a chance, I'll watch.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
Drapes I was gonna say Drapes with the feet up.
Yep.
And the hammock.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
Stay safe, by the way.
Yeah. So Jay and I will hold it down for you tomorrow.
You guys got it. Yes.
Yeah.
Your boy need a day off. I've been carrying y'all for months now. I need a day off.
Your shoulders sore from
right,
carrying that.
exactly.
Yeah.
All that heavy lifting. You and Jay? Yeah, I need a break.
I'll allow the 49ers.
It'll be a 49ers Friday tomorrow here on Sactown Sports 11.
Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Stick around. UC Davis basketball's next on Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, clutch play.